Hola. No, porque picarle a veces que no me pica. Él dijo que se lo echamos porque él tenía hasta la vaina de ahí. La nota de los echamos. Ya me tiene el teléfono y cada rato lo amo. Él lo arrolla cada rato el teléfono. Él lo ahorca allá abajo, si no quiere, hombre. Él lo ahorca por ahí. ¿Tú también? Digo que tú también. ¿En la bus? Sí. Otro paliceo, vale. Como que hay coronavirus. Hay que meterlo en la selva y luego. Esto está con mi curso, el martes, que esto era. No me llaman un examen, que. Oye, puso una práctica de formación en la clase de bicicleta. Claro. Entonces, una para. Él dejó 20. Una pregunta, dejó. ¿Qué es eso? ¿A dónde sabe? Él dejó como 20 preguntas y dejó unos versículos bíblicos, porque hay que copiar. Yo lo enseñé. Yo le enseñé una práctica de maestría. Se te va a decir ahí si la de la hice, me parece que se tenía que es que vacaciones, no se hace tarea.
Hola, Valerie. Say hello, Quan.
Hello, Quan.
Who else we got on here? Calvin. Hello, Calvin.
Hello, Calvin.
Yeah, Keena. Hello, Keena.
Hello.
All right. Valerie is want to tag along with me today and help me out. So we just setting everything up. I have never done a video in San Cristobal. It's a little noisy here at the house, and the internet goes out sometimes. So we're gonna do our best. We got Nicole coming on. We got Brother Rico coming on. Rico, you better be coming on pretty soon. So we're just gonna have fun today. Can y'all hear us pretty good? Can you hear us? Y'all give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear us. Cállate. All right. I'm going to take over. Gracias. Okay. All right. Okay, Quan, y'all can hear me. Good. All right, Valerie, sit down. Valerie wants to be a part, just to see. Guys, how's everything going over there? Y'all tell me about what's going on in the United States. How's the weather there? Quan, how's y'all weather over there? What's going on before we get to talking about our topic today? How do you feel? Do you feel safe in the Dominican Republic? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So y'all talk to me. Gracias. Yes. So if y'all have a question for Valerie, you can ask Valerie a question until we get started. I am on a little bit early today just to make sure everything is checking out and make sure everything is working good. So, yeah, let's talk. Y'all, if y'all want to ask Valerie a question real quick, y'all can ask Valerie a question. I have my Google Translate right here, and I can ask her a question. Cold, warm one day, cold the next day. Yeah, that's what I hear. My body could not take it, Quan. That's why I'm here in the Dominican Republic. What's that?
Claro que sí.
Claro.
Que sí.
Que sí. Okay, claro. Okay, I can hear. Hola, hola, hola. Calvin says, I'm a truck driver, so the weather is different in all regions. Wow, man. Thank you so much for doing what you do, because truck driving is very, very, very tough. I already know. So, um, y'all ask Valerie a question. She's just sitting here. So somebody ask her any type of question about the Dominican Republic. Ask her how old she is, what type of grade she makes. I don't know. Ask her something, please, because she's just sitting here. She just following me around like a well, she look at me as like a dad. So she wants to be involved. She wants to learn English. She wants to kind of expound on her life. So Valerie, ¿qué pasa? Oh, look, how are you doing? Bueno, say very fine, thank you.
Very fine, thank you.
Oh, look, Kina, she's talking in Spanish.
Yo tengo 13 años.
3 años.
13.
13 años. She's 13.
Yeah.
Yes, 13. She is 13 years old. Yeah, somebody say something in Spanish. So Kia, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yes, you guys ask her another question, so she can feel like she's involved. So anyway, guys, we're getting ready to get started, but I just want to just kind of do a mic test, just playing around. Valerie's right here, so we're gonna really get going in about 4 or 5 minutes. So, hey Valerie, you are so beautiful. I'm sorry I can't speak Spanish. Yeah, me neither. Cassie said, "Hola, Valerie."
Hello.
Yeah, so yeah, we're going to be talking about just different things in the Dominican Republic today, but mainly the safety. You know, I'm going to talk about, I'll say this. When I moved here in 2020, when I first got down here, of course, I was a little nervous. I was scared. I had butterflies, the language. You hear all these horror stories about these third world countries and things like that. And I was just really, really, Rico, I already dropped the link. It's at the top. If you would have answered your doggone phone, you would know what's going on. It's all the way at the top, brother. I'll drop it again though, because I know you are special needs. So needs. Let me paste it. Paste. All right, there you go, Rico. Anybody else want to get on? I know Miss Sharonda, she might be getting on too. Miss Sharonda, I know my cousin Nicole's gonna be getting on also. So anyway, let's see. Let me catch up with these comments. You early, coach. Yeah, pimp boy. I know you always checking me on that. I'm just kind of doing a check, mic check, and making sure y'all can hear me pretty good, because I am in San Cristobal, and the internet it goes in and out, and then electricity goes out sometimes also. So y'all got to deal with Rico the whole time if my microphone. Y'all don't say nothing. Rico the whole time. Hey Rico, I was just saying nothing but good stuff about you, brother.
Then they lying. Then they lying.
No, I was saying good stuff about you.
Then they lying. Then they lying.
Why is that? You got an echo.
That was me. Yeah, I had to close the other panel.
Okay, yeah. Now. How you doing, brother?
Shit. Believe it or not, since I've been back home, that weather change. I'm not in the 80s no more.
Right.
I'm here freezing my ass off on the East Coast. So.
What's the weather there?
I don't know exactly what it's not as bad as it was when I left to go over there, but it's probably like 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
Rico,
hey Valerie.
Valerie said, "Hey, Valerie ready to come back to your house and go swimming."
Tell her my damn ears still hurt.
Yeah.
John, tell her my ears still hurt from all that noise.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna definitely tell her.
Yeah, but other than that, I'm
still hurting from the music. Yeah. So go ahead, brother.
Because I was supposed to have left Wednesday,
right?
And Matter of fact, I need to call United and get my current on a little bit more. So I try to get me some more benefit because they canceled our flight Wednesday. So we were supposed to come home Wednesday, and me and Anthony didn't get to come home till Friday because we got to the airport. We're sitting there all that time, and like the whole day at the airport, and then at the last minute they say your flight's canceled.
Wow.
So
Wow.
the only good thing that like really saved and boy, people, a couple of fights broke out.
I know people were mad. Thank God you got a house there, so that was good.
They were mad as hell. I mean, they dusted up real bad, and I was like, "Come on, Anthony." I called Brother Troy. Oh man, that guy's so solid, cooler than the other side of the pillow. Yeah,
everybody's been asking about him. Yeah, we're gonna have him back on again soon.
Oh yeah, he rock solid. He is rock solid. Called him. He came and picked us back up. Had to fight to get my bag back. Took us back to the house. We hung out a little bit, and then I got back home.
Right. Hey, Troy told me. I asked him, "Could I come next month?" Yes, I'm gonna stay a couple days with Troy next month.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So next month. Yeah.
Yeah, he's sweet too. I mean, he got a sweet setup.
Valerie, Quan, 1993. Valerie has been outside of Santo Domingo, but San Cristobal, but she's never been to Punta Cana. That was her first time going to Punta Cana. Yes. Everybody's speaking to Valerie. They ain't speaking to us, Troy. Rico.
They don't care 2 cents about your old crusty ass.
That's right. It's going to be difficult. Most of the subscribers speak only English, Coach. Yes. Let's see. So, yeah, Rico, I want you to give your experience. I know Nicole's going to be coming in pretty soon, but, I live in a different area, but talk about do you feel safe here in the Dominican Republic? How do you feel about that?
Well, yeah, in particular, Punta Cana is an extremely safe part of the Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I know it's a business-driven decision. Mm-hmm. This is which John also found out, like I found out when we went to dinner that last night, that people don't realize that whole entire area of Punta Cana is private development.
Right.
There are multiple billionaires with a B that got together and developed that area for these resorts, these homes. That airport was not built by the government.
I did not know that until you told me that, and that other lady told me that.
The airport. So the cost of that airport might have cost them $20 billion. When billionaires invest that much money into something, they protect their investment. So the name of the group is called Grupo Punta Cana. Mm-hmm. And it's not a singular individual. It's multiple billionaires.
They talk about this one guy all the time, like this big week.
Yeah, I forgot his name. There was an American name, I believe his name was Frank Keel, who first envisioned it. Because if you ever look at a woman, Cheryl Williams, who lived in Punta Cana 30, 40 years ago, and she said, and she runs a real estate company. It's Remax, Cheryl Williams, and she'll tell you how it was like underdeveloped, but it always had the beautiful beaches. And believe it or not, right now there's another area about an hour north of Punta Cana called Miches.
Oh, okay. I never heard of that.
Drop dead gorgeous beaches.
Okay.
Unspoiled, because in the DR there are several places that they have what's called virgin beaches, and because it just was undeveloped, untouched. Gotcha. The locals, when I went out there, it's like, why are the locals not here? Because the locals are looking for jobs.
Right.
We can appreciate beauty because we have employment. Right. We have money. So then we look at activities and hobbies. But when you don't have employment, you don't care about no pretty beaches or no pretty river. You're trying to survive. Gotcha. So it's not that they don't appreciate it. They just have more important things to do. So, when we tend to come over there, we want to take advantage of. So just in a long story short, The Punta Cana area is safe because the same people who spent probably a couple of $1 trillion developing that airport, all of these hotels and resorts. Punta Cana has
it's like gentrification. When they like in the United States, they fixed all that stuff up. They want to keep that stuff nice.
And what they do is they reinstitute police. You know, police that didn't used to be there before when it was tore down. All of a sudden now they're there regularly
because they pay those police officers that extra security.
Absolutely. Because in Punta Cana and also in Santo Domingo, in the colonial zone, which is the tourist area of Santo Domingo, they have what's called the police turistico. The tourist police, their job is to police the tourist area.
We don't have why don't have that over here in San Cristobal?
You know why y'all ain't got it.
That's right. No, I need you to you speak on this.
It just literally comes down to dollars and cents.
Right.
You know, but it's no different than what goes on here in America. Areas that are gentrified, they take all that money, and if you have a tax base where people pay, that's where all your resources are gonna go. So we do have better roads. It's not that we don't have bad roads, but our roads are better. Our police protection is extra.
Right.
Our noise restrictions are more widely enforced. You know, the issue that you guys have, we only deal with 10% of it. Like as you said, which is why you wanted to stay through the New Year so you could sleep.
Right.
Because I don't hear anything.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So that's just that reality.
Hey,
there's a cost.
We're gonna try to stay on the subject, but hey guys, if y'all want y'all questions answered, make sure you always help out with donating to the channel. But we're gonna try to stay on this topic. But every now and then, we'll talk about safety and all of that stuff. But if you want it, Rico,
I'll just say this. So in staying on topic, saying all that is to say that because of that reason. That's why Punta Cana is it's probably one of the safest places in the Republic.
Gotcha.
It's because of the resources and the money, and there's a heavy police presence. You don't have, like you said, when you talked about the other things about what you don't like, you don't have the rampant stray dogs everywhere.
Right. Yeah, we have a lot of stray dogs here.
They're just not there. We don't have garbage all along the sides of the road. They come and clean it up there.
Right.
Because obviously the hotel owners and whatever, they have a lot of money and a lot of taxes to the government, and they tell them, you're going to clean this place up. Right. They don't want their resources.
You know what? Now, since we have Valerie in here, we're going to have to jump off subject just a tad bit.
Go ahead.
Because Valerie wants to answer these questions. She keep nudging me. So Valerie, they ask you, what do you want to do and what are your life goals? And Valerie, what are your goals in life?
Valerie, te preguntan qué quieres hacer. ¿Cuáles son sus vidas? Pasa en la Valerie. ¿Cuáles son tus metas en la vida?
So let's see. Yeah, go. Loud.
Cuando yo me gradúe ya en la universidad, yo voy a coger la carrera de arquitectura.
Okay. So when I graduated
from university, I'm going to take an architecture degree. Okay,
So wow. So she wants to be an architect. She said when she graduates from school. It's a lot of Dominicans that say they want to be architects. Why is that, Rico, you think?
I don't have, believe it or not, when I was in high school, I wanted to be an architect.
Really?
But believe it or not, I have no idea why. Knowing a little bit more about it now, I don't know why. I mean, it's very difficult. It's a very serious. It's a great job and a great discipline. You don't see them in abundance. I guess because I like drawing at the time.
Gotcha.
So and that's basically what it is. It's an, engineering, architecture. They're pretty much in the same vein. So I can't fault her for it or clown her for it, because at her age I had that same
mentality,
crazy idea. I want to be an architect. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Hey, somebody says, Rico, put that Christmas stuff up.
It's Christmas every day.
Hey, we're gonna bring Nicole in.
Hey, Miss Nicole, how you doing, sis?
Good. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
Great.
Hey, yes, we gonna Nicole, we're gonna try to stay on topic, but look who's beside me. They're asking her questions, so we're gonna answer some of Valerie's questions if that's okay with you, Nicole.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So as we're gonna go along, so today's topic is we're gonna focus on safety and do you feel safe in the Dominican Republic? But we'll jump off topic every now and then. So I'll say for me in 2020, I did feel I'm a person that really likes to go out and what do you call it? Just go out and challenge. I like a challenge. So it really didn't bother me that much. I was a little nervous in the beginning, especially coming to San Cristobal and not being able to speak Spanish. But once you learn the roads and the different codes, like you learn, okay, at a certain time you don't need to be here. At a certain time, don't go over there. And they tell me and they teach me, they say, hey John, don't go over there after 7 o'clock. When it starts getting dark, don't go in that area right there. In the daytime, it's good. And it's very similar to the United States. You know where to stay away from certain times. Put your phone in your pocket. Don't have no gold jewelry out, no chains until you go into the grocery store or you go to a disco or a club or you go to a special event. You don't need to walk around with a Rolex watch walking down the street or something fancy or something like that or gold chains or something because they're going to snatch it. Now, I do get nervous about one thing, and not nervous, but yeah, I guess it is nervous. When I see 3 or 4 Dominican boys on the motorcycle looking around, because I kind of let them know I see them, but that's when you really know you watch these videos, and Rico, you send me these videos sometimes. These 2 or 3 guys on the motorcycle, they'll jump off the motorcycle, they'll hold a pistol up to you, and they'll take your wallet and your chain and your phone or something like that. So I pay attention to the teenage boys that's on motorcycles because I notice those are the ones that kind of commit the most crimes. Go ahead, Rico.
Well, a lot of that is for the most part, the moto concho to me, it creates a venue for them to escape when they do what they do. So again, we have moto conchos all throughout Punta Cana, and when people talk about moto conchos is a Dominican taxi. They're not getting in no taxi cab. They're gonna jump on the back of the moto concho, that little 100cc motorcycle with, as John showed, with 50-inch TVs, dressers, refrigerators, whatever else, because that's their form of taxi because it's cheaper. It's maybe 200 pesos, whatever, depending on how far you're going. Be honest with you, the only place I've ever seen a Dominican taxi is at the airport. They for whatever reason, I don't believe they operate throughout the city. They'll pick you up from the airport, take you where you're going, and then they go back to the airport because no one's going to pay. Well, I've never seen it.
Yes.
All I've ever seen them do within, whether it's San Cristobal, Santo Domingo, Punta Cana, going around within the city, and I even see foreigners. Now, I said I ain't never getting my fat black ass on the back of the motor concho, but they do, because my thing is there's no helmet, they got flip flops. It's just, and I ride motorcycle, so I'm very motorcycle safety conscious. Where they drilled in us, you wear a helmet, you wear long pants, you wear boots high up over the ankle, and they just dismiss all of that, and they ride and drive with reckless abandon. Right. So even if they're not concerned about their safety, I'm always concerned about mine. It just, it's just really a kind of weird thing. So again, moto conchos, I think when you talked about the robbery, John, it's because, to be honest with you, I feel like I could pick those little teeny motorcycles up over my head. But they jump on them because they're small, they're compact, and if they want to get away, they can jump up on the sidewalk, they can scoot down an alley, they can go up in somebody's house. They're compact and they're quick.
Right.
So
Now, let me say this, kind of touch on what you said.
And when you turn around, their ass done disappear that
Right.
quickly.
Now, like what you just said in Quan 1993, you're in the hood, coach. I don't, and I'm gonna say it like this. I don't consider it the hood. Now, they do have hoods in Punta Cana. Hold up, Rico. Before you say something, shut up. Nicole, keep Rico quiet. So I don't consider this the hood. This is why. Punta Cana has an area in the hood. San Cristobal has an area in the hood. I don't live in the hood. I think the hood is like you can buy crack cocaine. I can't buy no crack cocaine right over here.
Think about Fifth Ward.
No, I'm saying here in San Cristobal.
I know, but you're envisioning hood as Fifth Ward behavior.
Yeah, like in the projects, like Fifth Ward or something like that, or like in Chicago in the hood. So that's what I'm envisioning. It's no prostitutes walking up and down the street or anything like that. So I really believe that I don't believe I'm in the hood. I believe that this is the norm. And correct me if I'm wrong, Nicole, if I'm saying it right or not. Enrico, I believe this is the norm of the Dominican Republic, where it's the area I live in. It's a lot of motorcycles and people are living day to day.
You're absolutely right. Where you live in San Cristobal and the way you live is probably how 80% of Dominicans live.
Mm.
Now, of that additional 20%, I'm going to say 15% live vastly poorer, and maybe 5% live vastly better.
Yes.
More wealthy. Because 15%, because like I said, the DR is basically like it's an agricultural country. It's a country where main exports are fruits. It's agriculture is their number one export. They're not exporting any type of, diamonds, gold. They don't have oil. They don't have, they're not exporting. Primarily, most Caribbean nations export fruits and vegetables. They're not even big meat exporters or chicken exporters, because we do that ourselves. But the U.S. buys all of the mangoes, the limes. They export all of that. That's a huge part of it. So most of the people are farmers or farm-like.
Yeah. So
that is true that where you live, it's not the hood,
right?
But it is low socioeconomic.
That's it. Now
so
let me say this: Have you ever been to the projects or the hood, or passed through? Do you know where that is in Punta Cana?
Yes, Fruisa.
It was called Fruisa.
It's tough. Where you guys got off at the bus?
At the bus, and you picked us up at.
Where I picked you guys up, that area is 99.9%. I'll put it like this: it's 99.9% black as hell, blacker than my shirt, and that's a mixture of Haitians and Dominicans.
Right.
Valerie's light skinned there. Literally. There's no exaggeration.
Right.
It's literally that, and at the end of the day, is those tend to be the poor people in the country, and they're not all Haitians. I'm talking about Dominicans.
Right.
Valerie's Dominican.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But they end up,
even though her uncle called Haitian.
They can call each other whatever they want. I don't even care. For whatever I know is, all of them are at the lower end of the socioeconomic ladder.
Right.
And you go to Fruisa 8 o'clock in the morning, and they have all these trucks that pull up to here's the thing. In the USA, right? You guys ever go to where they do day laborers? And most of the day laborers are undocumented. You
ever heard of that, Nicole? Day laborers?
Yeah, like the people that'll be outside of like the hardware stores and stuff.
Outside of Home Depot, Lowe's. And guess what they don't have? They don't have papers. They're undocumented.
Oh, you talking about like the Mexicans?
Yes. Yes, I'm trying to be PC. They're undocumented.
They're not all Mexicans, John.
Well, in Texas, when I lived in Texas, it was all Mexicans out there.
Mexicans, they're Haitians, they're Venezuelans, they're anybody that has come to America with no documents, they're day laborers. and they go do all the shit work, and they're all over America, and trucks pull up and they be like, I need 10. And they beg to jump on the truck because they got work for the day.
Right. Yeah.
They're trying to feed their family and they're trying to send money home.
Hey, let me.
That's what these areas are. And the type of work they do.
Right. I got you. Since Valerie, okay, and we're gonna come back to Walter in a second, but Valerie, these kids, they, I am kind of a big deal, but these kids are around me all the time because because they want to, they yearn and they thirst for more knowledge. And like, it's no way an American child would just be sitting right here. She doesn't understand anything what's going on, but she wants to be a part of something. She wants to better her life. And it's just amazing how Valerie's just sitting here calm and quiet. She doesn't have a cell phone or anything like that, but she wants to be around me, and she's yearning for that wisdom. Don't you think that's cool, Nicole? Rico, Quello, be quiet, Quello. Go ahead. Go. Can you hear me? Did y'all hear what I said?
Yeah, you asked Nicole. I'm letting her answer.
The dog's cutting up, so I was hoping you would just move on. But no, yeah, that is cool. How old is she?
13.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah. I think that's
pretty
great
cool.
that she wants to learn. That not having a cell phone and stuff helps. I don't know if y'all can hear me.
It does. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Now, one thing, her dad, I'm really close with her dad, and he wants me to teach her how to, and he wants me to have her to go to the next level and maybe go to the United States. And that's the cool thing about it, and I really like kind of being her second dad. But I always tell her, your dad has the overcall over me. Everything has to go through your dad and your mom always. And I let her know that, because she always asks me like I have authority, but I'm just kind of like that second father / coach in her life,
But John, I'll tell you this, and I think I told you that before I left. Even more so than that, I will sit there and I will do any and everything that I can to help you sponsor her.
Oh, I know you do, brother.
But to do that,
mm-hmm.
If we want her to be successful, we must set standards for her. Valerie is a very intelligent young woman, and we cannot let her be lazy.
That's right.
So the bottom line, like I tell her, no, you want to do something? I want this report done. I want this. We need to make her, because again, like I said, I feel, so when I come back, I'm bringing some books. I'm going to get some books in Spanish, and I'm going to tell her, you better read these books by the time I come back.
Good.
And do it from cover to cover to get a reward. You can't just give the reward, because we want her to succeed. So we need to motivate her.
That's right.
Because can do it. I've seen her. I've seen the light in her. It's there. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, is that I've been as a young
cut you off, but her friend is pregnant. She's 13.
Yeah, I know.
Pregnant. Yeah, Nicole, her friend just got pregnant at 13 years old.
Yeah.
And see, what happened, John, is, and I'll say, like, looking at her, because I told you I'm still going to look out and reach out to a teacher that can talk to us about the education system there, is that they'll set low standards for people who look like us.
Right. They'll
set low standards because they already have in their mind, you ain't going to be shit.
Right.
So what do we care? What am I going to waste my time on you for? Look at you. See what I'm saying? They visualize you. Look at you. You ain't going to be shit.
Right. Hey,
and then that's what I'm saying. And what I'm trying to push is that, look at her. That's the next Supreme Court justice. That's the next astronaut. That's the next presidente. That's the next whatever.
She don't even know what
her own limitation. Only she is her limitations. And if we don't set high standards, why would she try to achieve them?
Right. You're absolutely right.
Set those high standards and those demands, because I know she can do it.
Hey, Walter has a question for you, Rico. Can Can you, hey, Nick? Can you read that for me, please?
Sure. What made Brother Rico move to Punta Cana? Was it much cheaper to live there?
We, like I said, we came there. We first visited the first time me and my wife we came, and we visited in 2013. So we're coming up on 10 years, and we saw the place on vacation and we loved it. And initially in 2013, we hadn't decided that we were going to move there. I always knew I wanted to move abroad. It was just no question about that. It was just a question of where. My wife, she's from El Salvador. At one point we were even looking at there, but she just was adamant she wasn't going back there. I understand why, it's got issues and so forth. But we looked there, we looked Panama, we looked Costa Rica. But every year since 2013, we kept coming back to the DR because we really liked it.
Right.
And it just finally got to a point. So, all along during that time, we were pulling together our resources, our money and things, because we was like, okay, we're going to purchase at some point. And ultimately, yes, it is significant. I saw a video, people are complaining about the cost is going up. And yes, the cost is going up. But the cost is going up all over the world. So still comparably, you can't say, oh, it was cheaper in 2018 than it is in 2022, because it was. Shit, it was cheaper in America in 2018 than it is in 2022.
Right.
It's just
material, everything is going up.
The scale is still, the difference is still like this.
Right.
So if Punta Cana goes up to here, America goes up to there.
Gotcha.
So ultimately for me, it's like, it's always going to be cheaper than back here. And while I do, and I tell people always ask me, why are you going to the DR for retirement? I'm like, it's fucking cheaper.
Right.
I do like the people. I can say all the other stuff, but at the end of the day, if it was more, fuck that shit. I'm going somewhere cheaper.
Right.
it just is.
Hey, Patrick, go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
Patrick Stoll says, Coach, when you heard about the Dominican Republic saying they don't like Americans there, were you concerned about moving to the Dominican Republic?
No, I really wasn't, because you hear these stories and you use your own judgment. You see certain things and then you kind of just use your own judgment. I wasn't scared, and I'm a person that likes a challenge. Now, if I felt like danger and this place was horrible and that it was really bad, I wouldn't be living here. I wouldn't be living in San Cristobal. So that's a great question.
Everybody hates Americans, though. Like, everybody, because I think when they think of Americans, they think of that generalized, like loud, ignorant, walking around through a marketplace in like a third world country or something, and it's like, oh, there's raw meat. This is unsanitary, and it's like, you don't even know,
right?
Like, you didn't even learn about the culture. You're just somewhere expecting it to be American. So I think we hear everybody hate Americans.
Yeah, I hear that sometimes. The thing I hear, the call center people always tell me, they say, John, Americans are so rude and they want something resolved immediately. Let me talk to your supervisor. Let me talk to your supervisor immediately. So that's what I hear mostly, but I really don't hear like being concerns about moving to the Dominican Republic and things like that. You're right, Nicole. Dominicans get mad at Americans at other things, but not. I don't have any issues with Dominicans. I really don't.
Okay. The ugly American is real and true.
It is.
We're fucking hated around the world, and justifiably so. I agree with that. I look at my fellow American travelers and like they're complete assholes. We are
100%.
flat out. I think we're assholes to each other. So certainly we're gonna be assholes to other people. Right. That's just a character flaw we have. We're assholes. We're the assholes of the planet. Now, I mean, it just is. Americans, we're rough.
British are worse than us though, because they have that dry.
No, I think they're as bad as us. I think we're the worst.
Wait, who's she say?
The British.
Oh.
I think we're worse. We're worse.
Yeah.
I guess when I was answering the question, I guess when I said we, I meant like Me, John, and you.
Oh,
So
I-
what I
I-
will say
We
is
are
this.
not the American people who are going to go to somebody else's country like, why isn't there a Walmart here in the Dominican Republic? This is ignorance like that. Like, so we wouldn't be afraid of it because we're not going to go there disrespecting somebody's culture.
I will say two things. In the question that I think his name was Patrick asked, I'm not sure if they were saying they didn't like Americans or they didn't like a certain type of Americans.
Okay.
So
I
we'll
think-
just leave it at that. I ain't gonna go no deeper than that.
Okay.
Right.
But the
Go ahead.
second
ahead.
part I'll say is because you brought up the customer service thing.
Mhm.
You right. We are some customer service Karens. As Americans, when it comes to customer service, shit, I'll turn into a Karen. We
Right.
all do.
Right.
But I will also say, in fairness to my fellow countrymen, the DR has the worst fucking customer service on the planet.
They do. They do.
Their customer service I'm like, look, I'm not even trying to be a Karen. Their customer service is, you can pay them and they'll act like they're doing you a fucking favor.
Right.
Their customer service. So in that conversation, the fault lies on both sides.
Right.
We expect too much, and they do nothing.
Yeah. Mhm.
So when you get to a place where like, I'm expecting too much, but you motherfuckers don't do shit. Who's at fault?
She understand that word. She understand that word.
It was literally like, John, right? Am I kidding, John? It's like, who's at fault where I expect too much and you do nothing though I paid you?
Right.
So that's just I've learned to say, you know what, the customer service is gonna be trash. I'm not paying them until I get what I want because they
Right.
just
Ne-
it is what it is.
Next question, Nick. You're right.
All right, Evero says San Cristobal looks affordable. Maybe you can live there with $1,000 a month because everyone is saying that you need 15,000 or more. There are people living with less. John did a whole video showing how you could get by. How much was that video?
$1,000, but
$1,000
you
a
could
month.
actually live off of $600 a month here. But there's a big but. You're gonna get the noise. You're gonna get you're gonna have to lock your shit up really, really good. You're gonna have to make sure you have burglar bars. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to deal with the noise and the motorcycles and the loud music at 4:00 in the morning. I saw a brand new place, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, and when I was looking for a place, and it was $115 a month in American side, $115, brand smacking new kitchen stove, big kitchen stove, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, $115 a month. It's in the middle of San Cristobal, nothing but noise. So,
But let's also say this too, to bring it back to the topic about safety.
mhm.
Because again, I think up on the North Coast, up in Puerto Plata, and someone was talking about like this one couple that was like upset because they moved into this place and up there by the Sosua area, and people watched them move in with their stuff, and then the house got broken. They had no burglar bars. So I'm like, what the fuck did you expect?
Right. Mm-hmm.
You can't move into an area where everyone's in poverty and you have things and they see you move things into your house and then want to know why you become a victim of a B&E.
Right.
Because you got shit.
That's right.
We do that here in the U.S.
Real quick, my brother Clarence, shout out. Let's talk to Better Black Life. Y'all subscribe to his channel. He's an awesome guy. Him and Brother Rico are on there sometimes. Great. I just want to send a shout out to them. I'm sorry, Rico. Go ahead.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like what was the famous guy that got famous where they said, why'd you rob the banks? Because that's where the money is. So again, if we're foreigners and we come into this country, and this country are people of poverty or of significantly less means, and you have significantly more. And if I was a burglar, I'm gonna break into your shit. That's where the shit is. So
the problem with privilege is that it's a privilege to even recognize that you have it. And so people who come from having access, or like they live in a neighborhood where I'm with you, Rico. You know, I remember seeing one of my neighbors around my mom's house put this big, like huge 72-inch TV screen box in the front yard, and it was like a Wednesday and the trash comes on Friday, and I was like, man, they want to be robbed really bad, because there's no way
put that shit out there.
72-inch empty TV box. So you know, I just got it. You gonna pick that box up, come in my house, take my TV off the wall, put it back in that box, and walk off with it.
And that's why even here in the state, they tell you literally, like when I would have, I mean, now I live in a much nicer neighborhood, but when I lived in a lesser neighborhood, I would break my shit down, put it in the car, drive 18 blocks away to throw it in the trash.
Exactly.
That's good.
Seriously.
And so you know what I'm gonna do, Rico? When I move in my apartment next month, Nicole, when I buy my TV, I'm gonna take some scissors and I'm gonna cut that damn box up. It might take me 2 weeks, 2 months.
You take that shit over to 3 towns away and put it on side the road, so they don't know where it came from. Because again, that's in the U.S. If they see, oh shit, he got a 75-inch TV, he got a new place. You know, it's like even your trash tells a story. Right. And it's like if you don't use common sense. So we're talking about safety. Safety starts with common sense. Your number one security is what's in your fucking head. Right. And if you're not exercising where I choose, if I choose I'm going to live down and I'm going to live among the poor, right, then I have to accept that there are those with lesser that will covet the things I have. That's right. So if I don't set out the necessary need that I need to do to protect it, secure it, it's not even their fault. Right. It's my fault for being irresponsible. So again, for the most part, it's like, do I think you can live there for $1,000? Yeah. But know how you're gonna live. You ain't gonna live like I'm living, bro. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Dang, Rico, you ready for cold showers? You ready for, you know what I'm saying? Because ain't gonna fuck hot water. That's not in $1,000 a month budget. You know, I really appreciate you being humble and you know, being nice about it. You know, I do take cold showers. You just I know you do. I smelt you. Hey, I was clean. I was clean. Go ahead, Rico. I got it.
All right, Mano David. For Coach John and Rico, when you first moved to the Dominican Republic, did you have any issues with the locals because you are an American?
No, I didn't have any. They would look at me and they would call me a gringo, and but they don't bother me. And I had all my extended family always walking with me and introducing me to people. So like, and so now when I walk, they wave at me and they see me and like, oh, sometimes they say gringo, 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 gringo. You know, they do that. But and then you get the beggars like Rico. I know, don't get started, Rico start. Then you get the beggars and they'll walk up, gringo, 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 pesos, 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 por favor, pesos, mucho hambre, mucho hambre.
And I agree. I have the same experience with John. Yeah. The locals are great, but then they do, once they get to know you, they see you as a source of revenue or assistance. So and I'll be honest with you, like my wife hates it because I'm a giving person and I give to my own detriment. So like even the kids out there trying to wash the car windows and stuff, I'm always like, shit, let me get. My wife be like, you can't keep giving it. I'm like, and I will give until I have no more to give, and then look for more to give, because that's like, I just feel bad for them. But as far as do I feel, no, but they'll look to protect me because they want to keep milking my ass. I know they're milking me. So
right. That's right.
And so I find myself like a lot of foreigners trying to save the whole country. Mm-hmm. And one, you can't, and two, they all don't want to be saved.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. Go ahead, Valerie.
Oh, that was a. Oh, she's gonna read it.
Valerie is intelligent young girl.
Apologies, Sarah. Yes, she's an intelligent young girl, not a woman. Thank you for the correction.
Not woman, Rico. She's only 13.
I know that, and you know what? That's a problem me and John had with her about staying in her youth. That's and right. Wanting her to live in her youth, because that is a thing that the young girls in the DR, they grow up too fast.
And I'll say this: me and Rico was talking about this, and we're going to talk. We're talking about safety, and all of this kind of wrapped around safety. I have noticed in Punta Cana, and don't take no offense to it, and this is me talking, not Rico talking. He can expound on it, Nicole. It's a lot of people that go to Punta Cana, a lot of women that go to Punta Cana on the weekend, and they work at the pharmacy, and they work at a school or something, but they turn into a prostitute. They turn into a prostitute in Punta Cana on the weekend. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. You don't see that. You don't see you either a prostitute in the United States or you work at the pharmacy. You're not a prostitute and work at the pharmacy. And my heart really goes out to them. And because I know they're making a quick extra $100, $200, $300 because they're beautiful. And then 3 or 4 of them got on the bus with me, Nicole, and they got on the bus with me. And I saw them actually prostituting their body in Punta Cana. And they got on the bus and they rode back with me and they spoke to me and they shook my hand. They was like, oh, yeah. And it was just, and I asked them, a couple of them, I said, what do you do for a living? And one of them said, I work at a pharmacist. And one of them said, I work at a school. But that's just amazing. You want to expound on that, Nicole, how they have two, they're a prostitute on the weekend, and then they're not they have a regular job.
Well, I'm not sure what like their minimum wage is over there, but I don't assume that it comes with the same types of benefits as they would get in America.
It's approximately $250 a month, and there's no benefits.
And another big thing that I immediately think about is in America, after you've gone to school and got a master's or a PhD to first even become a pharmacist, you then are not using that pharmacist salary to take care of your entire family. Like you're not taking that money and paying everybody, like your parents, bills. And even if you are paying bills for them, your parents probably are capable of taking care of themselves to some degree. There's not your cousins and your aunts and your uncles that these women may be taking care of. So you have a lower wage for what they're doing, and you also have more people that they are contributing to the care for. So I think that makes a lot of sense when you think about not just the difference in like the choice, but the difference in the enormity that each country's person will like. The burden is bigger for those in the Dominican Republic, I would assume, because it's more of a united thing than an individual thing.
Shout out to my best friend coming up, Eric Curtis. Proud of what you're doing. You mentorship, JD. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, brother. God bless you, man. I looked up to you a lot, and I still do, brother. Yeah.
Yes, he talks about you. He talks about you still, Eric. I've heard about you a few times.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out to Eric Curtis. Yeah. Nicole, go ahead, Nicole. That's you.
Well, you want me to answer
Nicole
about what the
I'm gonna let you respond, Rico.
Huh?
He tried to skip you, but I'm looking forward to hear what you're gonna say.
No, I was just gonna give him some input.
Sorry.
With his old piece of work, hot saucy ass, right? No, I just was gonna co-sign with what you said, because what you said is true, and I just kind of want to explain the dynamic to people. Work in the DR is different than it is in the US, and we have to look at it and focus at it and think about it differently. So like where John is, and we talked about it early in San Cristobal, right? I'm getting out to everybody like, now I'm back in Maryland. I'm not in Punta Cana. But what I'm sitting there saying is Punta Cana is, and when you look at like tourist area, it feeds a lot of people. Where John lived is the countryside. Most of the work there, there's minimal work opportunities there outside of maybe agriculture.
Yes.
There's no the countries don't have huge factories. They don't have industrialized like you see in Western world. Third world countries, most of their work is either labor intensive, farm work.
Right.
I think the Dominican Republic
it's a lot of sugar cane in San Cristobal.
Sugar cane,
a lot of sugar cane.
Bananas, limes. It's agriculture. It's labor intensive. People work like a dog from sunrise to sunset, and and they pay minimal, damn near slave wages. So in these areas all throughout the country, you have huge population. It may be a town, San Cristobal may have 20,000 people, but 90% of them are fucking farmers, or they generate farm income level. And that might be, like I said, as the average income is about $200, $250 a month, maybe a farmer's maybe making 175, 150, and in that same income level, say $250 a month, I'm gonna be generous. That might be a single mother with 3 kids.
Yeah.
That could be a family of 4.
Right.
Now, can you imagine a family of 4 subsisting on less than $300 a month?
Right.
Total income. You ain't got no health insurance. You won't get no food stamps. You don't get no housing assistance. You get that paycheck, and usually you get paid once a month.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
So for that $250, you got to make shit work.
And that $250, they make $250, $300 on the weekend to come to Punta Cana.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is a single mother with 3 kids who has to subsist on $300 a month. It doesn't surprise me if she says, hey, this shit ain't enough, because the government's not giving them any more. Yeah, even in Punta Cana, even in Punta Cana, in the resorts and in the hotel, they make more. They might, instead of $250 a month, they might make $350 a month. And that $100 make a fucking difference.
It makes a huge difference.
It makes a huge. Your buddy Melvin, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was up there in San Cristobal for all those years, but he took his black ass to the Hard Rock in Punta Cana.
Well, yeah, he is black, but yeah, he's dark.
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying that. I'm saying when you look at the dynamic that, like, if it didn't matter, he would still be up in San Cristobal doing his tours. He wasn't eating up there.
Right.
Because he wasn't making any money in San Cristobal. He didn't go to Punta Cana because he loved it.
Right.
He'd much rather stay in San Cristobal. But the income that he could generate in one place over the other was significant enough that he decided to make the decision to go. I don't know if he got a family or not, whatever. We all make our decisions based off of our needs. And I'm saying Punta Cana feed 100 times more fucking Dominicans than San Cristobal do.
Right. Those areas do
because of the tourism coming in, the money they spend, the taxi services, the hotels, the restaurants, just all kinds of shit. People are eating like a motherfucker.
Well, Nicole, let me ask you this, and I'm asking Nicole, a female, this, because I'm so happy you're on, Nicole, and I appreciate it.
And put up Key Pina's comment, because I'm glad. Like she said, her boyfriend got health insurance through the resort.
Okay,
then we're gonna come back, I promise.
Okay, let me ask Nicole this real quick. Nicole, my heart goes out to those women that prostitute their body on the weekend, because when I found out, I went to Punta Cana, and we went out a couple times, and it was just young girls. And how do you feel about that, Nick?
I don't feel any way about it. They're doing what they feel that they have to do to get by. I don't have any judgment for them. I feel like, ideally it would be better, if they didn't have to do that, but they're doing what they have to do. So, I don't try to feel anything about people trying to put food on their table, as long as you're not murdering somebody, as long as you're not interfering with somebody else's life in a negative way, I'm never going to judge anybody for doing what they have to do in those moments.
I like that. I like that comment. Awesome. Let's go ahead and go to Jimmy.
All right, Jimmy said, Nicole hit the nail on the head. When I was in Italy 5 years ago, Italians could tell I was American, specifically at restaurants or coffee shops. And he said, thanks for pointing that out. You're welcome.
Awesome. Coach
Right.
John, I know Jasmine and Darlene like to move to the United States, but do Valerie want to move to the United States in the future? You want to go Estados Unidos? You want to go to Estados Unidos? See? She said yes. Yes. I think all Dominicans do. Yes. Do you want to go to the United States? Yes, I think they do.
Yeah.
Yes. She said, yeah. Look how excited she get. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why, let me ask her why, since we stay on that question. Okay. Okay. She says to go to another country and make money, and it's very nice. She sees in the United States. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's it. Yep. So that's $115 a month. But like Rico said, you're gonna get the noise and a lot of other stuff. So
you're gonna get the noise. You're gonna get the begging. You're gonna get people trying to break in. You're gonna get you. It's you can't keep focusing on how inexpensive it is unless you're prepared to live like them. And I'm telling you, there's not a single fucking person on this stream that's not Dominican, not Dominican, that's not Dominican, living in Dominica, in the DR, that's willing to do that shit. It sounds easy. It's fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take it as a joke and say, I would be like, no. Unless you are willing to live in abject poverty, which is the conditions that they live under. Mm-hmm. And again, as I told John 1,000 times, they're not happy. They just don't complain. So stop saying, they make the best out of it. They're happy. They're not fucking happy. They just don't complain because they know no one will care.
But Rico, now I do believe a lot of them are religious and they're happy. They're content
in their faith. They're content in their faith. Sure.
But I'm talking about food also, because they're so happy when they can all put together and get some food and be and listen to music on the weekend, because that's their downtime on the weekend.
But there's a difference. There's a difference between pain and suffering, right? Like everybody's gonna experience pain, but if you're suffering, it's a choice. Like you're choosing to sit in that pain and be miserable. So people who grow up only knowing that experience or living that experience for a certain amount of time, they get past that initial shock of it and they choose not to be miserable, even though it's hard, even though it's tough. They just don't, you don't have to live. It's like, John, how you get frustrated with people when they don't understand that you're disabled, because it's like, well, I saw John and he was laughing, and it's like, well, yeah, John's not in pain every second of his life. He has moments where he's fine, but that doesn't mean overall it's not hard. And people struggle. Like if you say you suffering, I won't see you suffering 24/7, or you're not really going through nothing, and that's just miserable.
That's a great point.
That's perfect, Nicole. Perfect, because again. But because it's like, what would be the point in John constantly complaining about the pain that he's going through?
Yeah, people not gonna
so he just tells himself, hey, I'm going to do the best that I can do and I'm going to make it work. And that's how I think, not just Dominicans, but people who live in poverty, period.
Yeah.
It's not that you're happy. So I think it's disrespectful when people of privilege or of means go, look at them. They happy with $1 a day. Who the fuck is happy with $1 a day?
Right.
Don't do that.
Right.
Now they just know that that's all they're going to get. I got $1 yesterday. I'm going to get $1 tomorrow. I'm going to get $1 the next day. Why cry about it? Because crying's not going to change my condition, but I will never disrespect them enough to say that they don't want more, or they don't want better, or they don't want a decent standard, because they all do.
Right.
They all do. Don't we do that. When I hear us do that, and I'm not talking about me or you, John, or Nicole, but just Westerners, period. We do that because we want to absolve ourselves from any guilt about what they're going through.
Right.
And I'm not saying that I got to feel guilty or I got to destroy myself. But I'm also saying that, like, this world, I look at the world and I'm like, this world is fucked up. It's a fucked up world, period. Whether you're in Africa, whether you're in the DR, whether you're in Asia, the haves and the have-nots, the separation between the two, it's not fair.
Right.
I get it. I'm happy to be on the side that I'm on, but nonetheless, I empathize for the people on the other side. So again, don't tear yourself up. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. Yeah. But don't disrespect them. Like all of a sudden they woke up tomorrow. You know what? Fuck it. Make me in abject poverty. Nobody wakes up and says that shit.
You're right. That's a great point.
Does that.
That's a great point. Hey, real quick, Lupe, my son is in Louisiana. I tried to get him to come here and go to school here, and we were going to go to a private school, but he wanted to stay because he just got a job at Wendy's. And my other son, Devontae, he's playing baseball in Texas on the select team, and he just got a job at McDonald's. So they are coming for the summer. Once I get everything situated, they will be in the Dominican Republic. They want to be at a English high school, and they both have girlfriends, so that just kind of...
John, stop lying. They ain't coming over there fucking with you.
That's right. That's my point.
That's it.
That's it. Well, they're going to come for a little while for this summer, and then I don't know what they're going to do
after that. They ain't coming to live.
Well, hey, if they...
And I don't blame them. Leave them kids alone. Kids alone.
They about to graduate anyway, so
right.
So anyway, next question. Hey, Rico, what part of Maryland did you move from? I live in Reisterstown.
Reisterstown. That's up there by Baltimore. That's where my wife go to work every day. I'm in Rockville. So gotcha. I'm like probably about 30, 45 minutes away.
Yeah, the locals are great in Central Domingo. I'm sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was looking at this other comment. Because I need to run in a minute to go pick up Brooklyn. But this comment from Dev that says, why can't they go and learn a skill and make money than prostituting? Poverty, blame it on.
Wow. Where is it at,
but
Nick?
that's like what we were saying. It's like the fourth comment that was just made.
Up, Nicole, so we can read it.
Yeah, let me pull
it up. Click it on my side? I can't click it over here.
No, that's why I'm gonna give you the commands next. Eventually you're gonna have it.
Yeah,
so it's like the fourth to last comment. Go look at the last 4 comments.
All right. Why can't? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying when I'm like, the people who are privileged have the privilege of not even acknowledging their privilege, because that's like such a strange comment to make about people in a third world country, like doing the best that they can.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you've been blessed enough to not be born into a situation where your sisters or your mother or your aunts have to feel like that's the choice they make for people to survive, then you should just be grateful to whoever you pray to or to science or whatever, that's not your options. Like that's just such a really weird perspective. I just feel like really triggered. I took it like it made my skin crawl. I have to go, but I just wanted to let you know.
Let me say this. You're accurate about that, Nicole. And what's probably more problematic about it is, I'm not sure, but looking at the guy's name and pictures, he looks, I could be wrong, so I'm not going to say, you look like maybe you're from India, who also is a country that has a very high rate of prostitution, whether you're in denial about it or not.
I didn't know that.
All poor countries have it, whether it's known or unknown. In America, 50 years ago, we had the same level of prostitution that they have here today. Do you understand? So what we see in the DR today was in America 50, 60 years ago, where women were property and they couldn't prosper. So again, it is people speak from a position of privilege. I got mine, why you can't get yours? Well, motherfucker, you didn't always have yours.
That's right.
And we forget that. So again, I'm not telling anybody, I got mine. I'm not feeling guilty, but I never forget, and I always say, there but for the grace of God goes who? Me.
Exactly. Right. And people really misassociate. People don't understand equity where it's like if you give everybody the same amount, everybody's not starting at the same place. So people who start from a better standpoint will have the ability to do more. Maybe that's extra spending cash, and it's not keep my kids from starving type of choices that people are making. So just be careful how y'all judge people, because
It's true.
you never know how those tables will turn on you and those who follow you. So
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. And going, Dominicans grow food, right? So that's a big savings. Yeah, the Dominicans. That's one of the most affordable things here is the food. The food is, and definitely you can live off of $1,100. That's not rich. I'm gonna say that's not rich. You know why that's not rich? Because you can't go out every single day off of $1,100 a month. Now I consider wealthy. You're a single person bringing in $3,000 a month, $2,500. You're doing really good when you have that, and you're a single person and you don't have that many bills. You can live comfortable off of $2,000 to $3,000 a month. But $1,100, you are not buying beer all the time. You are not going to the club, and I'm not saying you want to go to the club. You're not you're not having an extravagant time. You're not going on these tours or anything. What you're doing is you're living a comfortable life. You can pay $5 to go to the beach and then bring your ass back or whatever. But you're not rich off $1,100. You can buy a nice $400 2-bedroom, 1 bath and live comfortable, and then you got about $600 or $700 for food and to kind of move around. But you still have to be careful. A lot of people think they can come here and live off of Social Security, $1,100, $1,200, $1,500 a month, and just ball out of control. That is not true at all. Am I right, Rico?
You're absolutely right. You can survive on that. But again, you will have to, the biggest thing for most people is then you have to say, okay, well, I tell people, like, what is your lifestyle right now? Are you prepared to alter your lifestyle? Because here's the thing, like right now, I'm back in the States. I know me and my wife, we love to go out to dinner 3-4 times a week, right? Because I'm here working. 3-4 times a week, we going out to a nice restaurant. She love to go to the mall, go shopping. We got 3 vehicles, all this shit. But I know that thankfully, when we go to the DR, because I already had my home purchased, I don't have to worry about rental income. Mm-hmm. Most people will be talking about, oh, I got to pay rent. Well, that's off the books for me. So that greatly decreases. But in spite of me having a home, I still got to pay electric. I still got to pay HOA. I still got to pay gas. I still have to pay health insurance because I'm not, unlike John, I ain't trusting the fucking public hospital. I'm not my black ass. I'm too precious to go in there and trust the public hospital. John, you go ahead and you do it. I also have vehicle insurance. You know what I'm saying? So these are all additional things that you have to think about. And I think most people, they think about just getting there. And I'm like, what do you think? That should just come out of the sky? There is no government assistance. We've become so accustomed here in America. We're like, oh, well, I got Medicaid. Ain't no fucking Medicaid over there. Or I can go to the free emergency room. There's no free emergency room over there. You know, all of these things that we're so accustomed to here don't exist there. Lord knows you get in trouble with the law.
Right.
When you need an attorney. They're literally like, motherfucker, pay me for everything.
Right.
So
right.
When I go over there for me and my wife, I'm trying to set up everything as much as possible, you know, to put me and my family in the best viable position so that we're as protected here as we are back home, because that's what we're accustomed to.
To expound on what you said, Lopez says, I know the story about Coach, but what made Brother Rico say to himself, you know what, I had enough of the United States. What was your turning point?
Mostly the cost and the stress. Those are the only 2 reasons. So again, I tell everybody, it's like, you know, I mean, yeah, they got better beaches, they got better weather, they got better all that shit. But I like it. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But that wasn't the driving force for me. The driving force for me was the overall cost was significantly cheaper when I tally up and calculate everything. It's all for housing, food, even the health insurance. The health insurance, I'll say here in the US, I'm probably paying for myself and my wife. In the US, if you have any type of decent health insurance, I could be paying maybe $400 a month for health insurance.
Kia
Right?
said I pay less than 100 a month health
Yeah.
insurance for myself.
But
Yeah.
let me just give them a measurement.
Okay.
I could be paying out of pocket about $300 or $400 a month for health insurance for me and my wife. Extrapolate that over 12 months. That's about $3,600 a year, almost $4,000 a year for health insurance.
Right.
Health insurance for me and my wife in the DR is $1,000. So that's a third of the cost. So that's a $2,000 saving just for health insurance, private health insurance. Private health insurance. So I get the equal amount, I get the equal quality of health insurance for a third of the cost. Vehicle insurance. My car insurance here was about $200 a month, $2,500 a year. It's $1,000 a month there. Again, that's cut in half. Every expense that I would pay for the same standard here in the US is cut in half over there. So ultimately, everything came down to cost. And then I got the benefit and the bonus of the great weather, the great beaches, a slower lifestyle, which
Right.
reduced my stress, even though those motherfuckers are always late for everything. They're late for everything and the customer service. But it forces me to relax more because
Right.
they don't care.
You had to get on your pool guy a couple times on his ass a couple times when I was there.
But because they don't care, it forces me to relax more. Like, you know what? I'm not going to stress because they don't give a shit.
Right.
So,
Yeah, prostitution is still at an all-time high here in the United States. It is, but the difference is what I see some regular workers that work at McDonald's or Krispy Kreme in Santo Domingo and are at the nursing home, and then they go to Punta Cana and make an extra $1, $2, $3, $400, and then get back on the bus and come back to Santo Domingo or San Cristobal.
that's a month's salary for the weekend.
Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, Nick.
Sorry, I'm muted. What makes you think that that's not what people in America here doing?
Oh, I have never heard, and I could be wrong because
you've never heard of people
I have never heard of some
regular jobs like a Krispy Kreme or McDonald's, which are the two examples you just gave.
No.
Being people who may be like on drugs or doing some type of things.
Nicole, you conflating that with. Now I will admit when we have what is it? The Super Bowl's coming up.
Oh yeah,
you got them that they're gonna fly in. Same thing with the basketball halftime show. They're gonna fly in. Right. So we get that. I get it. All IG models, but we're talking about. I'm literally talking about the most standard. You don't have the Krispy Kreme donut girl flying out to All-Star Weekend because she knows she ain't got it like that.
No, but she might be prostituting in the area. She might be low-key prostituting around the way. Yeah, I get it's not to the same degree, and it may not be as open. But my point was just more so to be like, people who not so much with the pharmacist or the nurse, because in America there's a different pay scale probably for people who are like registered nurses or pharmacy techs. But I would say a few of these. It was a Popeyes that got shut down because then people was always going in the back over there making a little extra money off of government. So.
Right.
But yeah, I know it's not the same degree.
When I went to Punta Cana, I tried to talk to a couple girls, and of course you did. Of course, beautiful girls. And the reason I know that, and nobody told me, and I'm not snitching.
He must have been snitching, and God stopped him right in this place, huh? Just me, I guess. Everybody's gone.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm not. The thing is I tried to talk to a couple girls, and I didn't know they were prostitutes, and I don't even know. I guess you call them prostitutes, but I would walk up to them, and they would say, "Nice to meet you," and I say, "Hey, what's your name?" And they would say, $100 or $200, and I was like, no, wait. Now I want to get to know you. I want to know you. I'm not looking for some.
Look at AB. AB, get out of here. And you ain't say hey to nobody else. That was rude.
I'm not looking for to sleep with somebody and have sex with somebody in the hotel next door or the cabana. And I walked up to a couple of women, and they said $100, $200, and I'm like, wow. And Rico was telling me, he's like, John, that happens often. He said half of these women in the bar and in the club are.
That sounds like what goes on in hey cousin. That sounds like what goes on in like hotel bars.
Hotel? What is that? What you mean hotel bars?
Bars at hotels. That's where you go.
Oh.
If you're trying to make money, or especially at bars at airports. I've heard airport lounges where people have to pay to go into a specialty area. Mm-hmm. Women in America will pay for those airport lounge things, and they will go there to find men, and they are, they'll ask you for a date is the word.
Yeah. Right. Yeah,
like name is $100, but it's like you looking for a date.
Yeah, now when I played with the New York Yankees, we would get to the hotel, and they had the girls at the bar on the outside of the bar, like, what do they call that area as soon as you enter into the hotel where the bar is? Nick, what is that called? Rico, what's that called?
The lobby?
Yeah,
the lobby.
The lobby, yeah. And they would have so many women just all dressed up at the lobby, and
there's usually a bar at the lobby.
Yeah, bar, like Nicole said. Yeah.
Lobby.
I follow a few pages online that are like, get man with money, because I'm like, what is this page? Like, because I'm interested to see what they're saying, and a lot of it is that, like, go meet a man at an airport lobby. That's where you find somebody with money. Yeah, I've heard of women who are, doing that out here in America, that they'll go.
It happens in America, but not nowhere at the same level.
No, not at all near the same level. I wouldn't ever try to compare it. I know it's not the same level.
And that's just but again, like I said, everything there is there, like not just there, but everywhere is driven around income and poverty. So with every conversation, we act like as if poverty or being poor doesn't matter, and that's the driver for everything.
Yeah,
that's the driver for us. That's why, like in America, we're so driven, because everybody wants to be rich. As a society, our culture is told, "Oh, get the bag, get the bag, get the bag, get the bag."
Right.
And all of us buy into that nonsense. They have the same thing. Here's the crazy part: is like we export our same messed up culture out to other countries.
Right.
The internet has we've exported that same nonsense everywhere.
Yes.
So they look and see and want the same shit.
If y'all want, I'm sorry, we our channel is growing, it's getting bigger and bigger. If you want your answer, questions answered, for sure, make sure you send us a donation or whatever. We're gonna try to get to as many questions as we can. But I do want to say this. Rico, Nicole, do y'all think if I tell people, like, if I'm trying to talk to a girl, and if I say, hey, I'm kind of a big deal, I got a YouTube channel, I got almost 5,000 subscribers, I'm kind of a big deal. Once you want to talk to me, can you give me your number? You think they might give me their number?
Oh, so you trying to do a little trash ass flex?
Yeah, what about
it sounds like you're setting up a transactional relationship. That's not a trash. Y'all think that's a trash flex. It's not. You're setting up a transactional relationship.
So just trash.
If you just presented her an offer, and so if she accepts it, you need to be prepared to pay for that woman throughout that relationship, because that's the contract y'all just signed.
And then he gonna get mad when it turns out that way, right?
Oh, she just a gold digger. Shut up. You presented it. Don't present yourself like somebody who's going to pay for everything if you don't want to pay for everything.
Then you're going to be in your feels.
But you don't have to say you a big deal. You shouldn't have to pay no money. I'm not saying I want to give you money.
It doesn't matter.
Why
You're
are you bringing it
that way.
I started the Dominican route. I'm gonna give. I'll tell Rico to do it. Rico, you walk up to the girl and say, "Oh, you know who that is? That's John over there. He's a big deal. He has the Dominican route. Go talk to him."
Y'all remember the 5 heartbeats when that guy sent his friend to go hit him with that, Rico? Walk out with his girl.
I would throw up in my mouth because I don't believe that shit. That's just the whole point. The concept is, it's they do that enough.
Right.
It's so again going back into the whole safety issue. I did put John in touch with even the IG page. Remember that?
Right. Yes.
And again, and I want to be crystal clear. I'll tell everybody, the DR is a very safe country for certain things.
I'm sorry.
So I would tell and this is the narrative everybody push, and everybody within the sound of my voice, especially if you're an African American man, right? We know the problems that we've had with law enforcement here in America, right? And all of the injustices and the fear of I'm scared the police gonna shoot me, this, that, whatever. That doesn't exist in the DR. So when you go to the DR, you can just rest your mind. You don't have to worry about the police shooting you. Put it away, put it away, put it away. Stop, motherfuckers. Okay? Because see, then that's where the problem gets. Now you think because you ain't worried about the police that there are not 100,000 other threats to your black ass.
Right.
There are places you got no business going. And that's what I don't like is the narrative people push is like the DR is no safer than America. It's safer from police violence. Right. Yes. When it comes to my fear of the risk of police violence to me because I'm black, it's much safer. But it's less safer when it comes to B&E. You know what B&E is?
What is that?
Burglary, breaking and entering.
Yeah.
They have a high rate of people breaking into. There are 1,000 times higher percentage of people breaking into your house than in America. We have nowhere near the number of breaking and enterings that they do in the DR.
Right.
Petty crimes, pickpocketing is much higher here than it is in America.
Yes.
So many other petty crimes that you will be susceptible to here that you won't back home.
Right.
But again, you ain't got to worry about the police shooting your ass.
No.
But that doesn't mean you can put your guard down so much that you can't think about other things. And again, I'll tell anybody, keep your black ass out of Santo Domingo until you know Santo Domingo.
Yeah.
Santo Domingo is the capital city. It's not to be played with. Yes, they have drug dealers here in the DR. Yes, they have guns here. Mm-hmm. It's illegal, but they're there. Right. Yes, they have stabbings. They have robberies. They have gang violence, even if they don't have official gang names.
Right.
Yes, they have human trafficking. So again, it is very safe, but you need to know what you're doing. And you ain't got no business taking your ass nowhere you don't have anywhere being. So stay in the tourist area. So when people tell you, oh, don't keep your ass in the tourist area until you know better.
You know what?
If you don't know better,
you're absolutely right. Here, listen, look, here in the DR, you just pay the police off. Well, you can pay the police. I've paid the police some dollars before. Yes, I have, especially for speeding and just pulling me over. And I give them a couple hundred pesos. Some people say don't do that, but hey, I don't want any problems or anything. And they want a couple hundred pesos in their pocket, and I just move on.
You get away with a couple hundred. It cost me 2,000 pesos every time they pull me over.
Well, I'm in San Cristobal. I give them 400-500 pesos, and that's it.
I pay $40 every time they pull me over. My wife be screaming at me. Then they get about $500 out my black ass. They pull me over. I be like, let me get my wallet.
And then you got a nice SUV too. You got a nice SUV.
I can't, because they get me for speeding all the time. Right. And I'm like, oh, you got a ticket yet? Let me get my wallet. I
You know,
just reach
hey,
into my wallet and pay him.
I'm gonna jump subjects a little bit, and this is, and I think we're gonna talk about this next weekend. But I don't understand why, like Valerie and the rest of the girls, and I don't like Jasmine and the rest of them. They wear these short skirts all the time, and they and they're 11, 12, 13 years old. I don't like that, and I'm trying to get her out of that and kind of. I know Rico, you're trying to help me out with that too. But it seems like that's something that they do, and they wear it every single day. These young girls, and you see them walking down the street, and they 11 and 12-year-olds. They grow up so fast here, and I wish they would just wear jeans or a long skirt or something like that.
Well, I can't. I need to run for a minute because I need to go pick up Brooklyn and her friend from the mall. But it's a lot we could talk about with that. I think if the girls, I think it doesn't matter what they wear so much. The girls out there aren't protected as much. So I think if you had them in a burqa or a turtleneck up to their nose, like the people who are looking for young girls to form relationships with, or you know, whatever you consider that to be, are gonna find them. It probably, I mean, it's hot out there, right?
It is hot out there, but
It ain't so hot. You need to be naked.
And they gotta pull.
They damn near naked.
They have to pull their skirts down, and they have these booty shorts on and stuff, and they're young. They're 12, 13, 14.
I guess I'm kind of torn on this subject, and I don't know what you guys, I can't fully picture what you guys know because I haven't been there, but I'm just cautious about villainizing young girls for clothes and things like that. I think that's problematic. I think that, like, no matter what a 12-year-old is wearing, she's a 12-year-old. Whether she has on 50 pounds of makeup because that's something she thinks she likes and she's experimenting with it, or a shirt, skirt. I think that as an adult, if you look at a child and see something sexual, that's a reflection of you, not necessarily the child. So again, I'm coming from a place where I do not have a reference for exactly what you guys are saying, but that's just something, especially as a mom to a girl, I'm very cautious of, like, kind of in my thought process of like how I feel. Of course, I don't think somebody's butt cheeks should be hanging out. I think that's excessive, but
because I'm so happy you are a part of this channel, because to have a female and just I can balance that thing out, because I get tired of hearing Rico's voice. That's awesome. I love it.
But no, Nicole, I think you're spot on. I think the ultimate answer is you're absolutely right. Is that these young girls in the DR, and I'll emphasize it again, in all of these Latin American countries, Brazil, Panama, whatever, is they're not protected.
Yeah,
they're not protected. Is the promiscuity a problem? Yes, but that still does not mean that the protection shouldn't be there, whether they're promiscuous or not. I think we could talk about the promiscuity if they were protected. And as John said, with Valerie's friend, who's 12 or 13, and the father's in his 20s, it's ridiculous. And it's not unusual to have a 13-year-old mother with a 30-year-old father. That's a lack of protection. That's a protection issue. It is a promiscuity issue, but it is also a protection issue. And they just don't, because it's just an I think just recently in the last year or so, they passed a law to outlaw the child. I'm going to look it up. There was child brides was legal in the DR up until a year or two ago, where you could marry. Yeah, wow. This is a fact. They outlawed it, but they're still not prosecuting people for doing it.
And that's why I struggle too with saying that the promiscuity is a part of the problem, because like young girls who are not protected in general grow up to be more sexually free anyway. That's anywhere. Like girls in the United people, daddy issues. You know what I'm saying? Like women who grow up feeling unloved and are unsure of how to get that love tend to use what they naturally have to attract the type of love they think they want and don't have an idea of how to cultivate. So if they were protected and were taught more so what those relationships should look like, the promiscuity in a larger part, not as a whole, but would definitely decrease greatly. But it takes the right nurturing, I think, for people to get that.
Yeah,
But
like right now, right outside of my door right now, it's 5 girls outside, and it's 8 or 9 boys around these 11 and 12-year-old girls right now.
What time is it?
It's what time is it? 8:13 p.m. And they're gonna stay out. They're gonna stay out until 11, 12 o'clock midnight.
And the boys are at least a half a dozen years older than the girls.
see, I'll be out there trying to fight them.
How much older are the boys than the girls?
The boys are, the oldest one is 18, and looks like the rest of them are about Valerie age, 13, 14, 15.
And they're probably all active.
Yeah. Probably so.
Probably
so.
They're probably all active.
Yeah.
Right. And
you're looking at the next generation of young Dominicans about to be conceived.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why, and they are not, a lot of times the parents are not home. And like the good thing is no one can come inside this house. No boys can come inside this house at all.
But that's what surviving on $200 a month does. Right. You can't. You don't have the luxury of, what I'm saying, protection, as Nicole said. You don't have that luxury. If the father's not there, you're a single mother, Nicole. So imagine being a single mother in the DR with Brooklyn. You're surviving on $200 a month. You probably got to work 2 jobs. Mm-hmm. She's 14, 15, and you got a bunch of little hungry dogs outside your door every night. And
the way a lot of those older men get away with that is they come to the young girls and present them with finances. And when that mother is already struggling and her young daughter comes to her with a grown man who's presenting her some financial relief. I mean, that's why I'm like, it's hard to fault. It's hard to fault the circumstances.
And the government does nothing about it. Yeah, the government does nothing about it. Like I said, they just passed a law and they fought through hell to say you can't marry them.
Right.
They ain't saying nothing about you still sleeping with them or fathering children with them.
And then, you said, once you pass the law, if nobody is enforcing it, then what is that law? It's written. Okay.
Nothing. Yeah, it's nothing.
So what?
And that's in the
I'm gonna
DR.
see if you guys are still here when I come back. If you're still here, I'll join back. If not, I had a great time. I look forward to having conversations with my team in the future on this page and our other page. You guys go hit up Prime Time for the Truth.
That's right.
Like, subscribe. You're going to see a lot of me and Rico on there in the coming future. So we're going to have John every once in a while, but okay.
That's right. Shut up. Bye. Love you.
Bye.
I'm taking you down. Bye. So
great.
Yeah, just, holding, and that's what I'm trying, like he says here, if you reach 81, no one is holding them accountable. So it's probably a social norm there. Right?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. And you're getting those, you subscribe to that email list that I told you about. So you're getting the updates and you'll see, because that's where a lot of my data and information comes from. A Dominican lawyer who does this website, DR1 Today, and the email comes out every day. And there's also I'll say to your listeners, there's a page. It's called I think it's Dominican Today, and it's English. It's in English, so you can type it up. Type Dominican Today. It's a website. It's in English. You can go to it, and you can see all the news about the country. It's broken down by Santo Domingo, the North Coast, which is Puerto Plata, Cabarete, Bavaro, Punta Cana, which is the East Coast, and La Romana. And you can see, and they tell about the stories, drug trafficking. It's like a local newsletter they publish.
Gotcha. Yes. But you know what, Rico? Yeah, and I'm so glad you sent me that. But every time these guys see me and I make Valerie come inside when it get kind of late, they get mad at me. They don't do these boys, these teenage boys don't like me.
Fuck them.
Because
fuck them.
Even when they get close to them, I put my hands in between them and I do like this right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I make them separate. You know how Bernie Mac used to say, separate. And I don't even have, because I can't speak Spanish, but I make them separate. I let them know that they too close. Yeah.
And the biggest thing I would say to you, John, is impress upon her how your level of disappointment would be. That don't disappoint me.
Right.
Just impress, because again, at the end of the day, you nor I can't do nothing with them little pussy hungry little fuckers out there.
Right.
They gonna try to sweet talk her, but I would just tell her, Valerie, when I'm not around, you have to make the right decisions and the right choices.
Rico.
You have to. So when I'm not here, no. ¿Por qué? No. Entiendo. She know. Little coach done bailed out on me. Can you can everybody put a 1 in the chat if you can at least still hear me? Or whoever's here. Okay, good. Can you guys at least put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, so I don't feel stupid? Because I think that's John and them. But,
yeah.
Okay. All right. You back?
Hey, let me.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Keith.
I know you held it down while I was gone, but there it is. If you move to an area like San Cristobal in the Campos, your internet's just gonna go out and your lights just gonna go out, and then it's gonna come back on.
But no. What I'm saying is this is it's a big thing for me that because again, and I think I saw somebody said earlier in the chat that and that's true, because I didn't think about that. That is very true. That's not much different than what we had. I was a latchkey kid. John, was you ever a latchkey kid?
What's a latchkey kid?
Okay. If you know what a latchkey kid is, put a 2 in the chat. I want to see who knows what a latchkey kid is.
Okay, what was the number 1 for? I see a lot of ones.
None of it, because I wanted to make sure they could still hear me when you froze up and your San Cristobal internet fell out. If you know what a latchkey kid is, put a number 2 in the chat.
Latchkey.
We're gonna give it a second because John don't know.
Let me think what it could be.
Oh, good, Key.
Okay.
I hope I'm saying it right, Key Peanut.
Key Peanut. Let me see what Key. Okay.
No, be quiet. I think she knows what it is. Anybody else? Nobody else?
Can I try to guess? Can I try to guess what a latchkey kid is?
Be quiet. No, we're gonna let you guess in a minute. Okay. John, you tell me what you think a latchkey kid is.
I think a latchkey kid is somebody you lock that child up in the house.
Okay, stop talking. You got it wrong. Key, go ahead and tell them what a latchkey kid is.
All right.
Because John, you got it wrong. Key,
my mom.
I'm gonna leave it up to you. I'm gonna let you type. Oh, okay, Fuchsius, you or Key, tell us what a latchkey kid is, because this is an American term.
Right.
This is America.
Gotcha. Well, Let me
Like,
see.
give it a second because they're going to tell us so we can discuss it because there are a lot of things that go on, whether it's in the DR or other countries, and they're not. Basically, what I always say is a lot of these countries are just running 4, 5, 6 decades behind us.
Right.
So,
And if
okay,
hey,
you never heard of
he
this
wants, if he
latchkey?
wants to come in, you can come in
Right.
and come on the panel also and talk to us about it also. So
But
anyway, go ahead, Rick.
Keith, you know what a latchkey kid is. Go ahead and basically what a latchkey kid is in America, and it probably was around maybe the 1900s, 1910s, whatever. So child care even in the US isn't as old as people think. We've
Mhm.
become so accustomed to everybody. There you go. Was before, after, was a before and after. So basically, for me, a latchkey kid was your parents had to get up and go to work, John. And what they would do is they would put a key to the house around your neck.
Are you serious?
No, I'm dead serious. And they
Mm.
would send your ass to school while they went to work. Because typically they would put the key, John, when you were a little boy, 8, 9, 10 years old, I
Right.
put a key around your neck. I'm going to work 7 o'clock in the morning. You got
Why
to go
would
to
you?
school.
Why
Be
is the
quiet.
key around the neck though?
Be quiet.
All
To
right.
keep your stupid ass from losing it. That
Okay.
was why. To
Gotcha.
keep John stupid ass from losing the key. So they tie around a shoelace around your neck. I gotta go to work, John. I'm
Mhm.
going to work at 7 in the morning. You go to school at 9. You
Mhm.
get off at 3. I don't get off till 5. So
Mm.
your period of time in school is in between my period of time of work. So
Right.
I need to teach your slow ass how to get up, get dressed, get your younger sibling dressed so you can get your. So basically, you had to take on parental responsibility because I can't afford for daycare.
Mm.
Daycare didn't even exist at that time in a lot of places. It
Gotcha.
didn't even exist. School hours were school hours. Work hours were work hours outside of that.
Mhm.
So I gotta say, hey, I'm getting up. I gotta go to work the trash route. Get your little black ass up. Get your little brother up. Get y'all off to school. Get y'all some breakfast and get y'all off to school. Lock my door. Lock the house up. You go to school. Y'all walk because most of the time schools were in walking distance,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
School get let out. Bring your little black ass in the house. Here's the key around your neck. You ain't
What
got to
about
look for it.
he says on the shoestring.
On the shoestring, round your neck. You John, you do this, you pull it out, you open the door, you take your black ass in the house, you
And
lock the door behind you,
mhm.
and you let nobody in
you,
until I come home.
That's some old shit, Rico. I'm 46. That's some old people shit, ain't it?
You know what? When you get off the stream, call your mama and ask her. And watch she educate your ignorant ass. She won't educate your ignorant ass. Because you know what? You say some old shit, your mama will be like, I was a latchkey child. Shut the fuck up, John.
this was
Because
me. This
that
was
was
me in
how we
high
had to
school.
be
My
raised.
school was across the street. Let's just say I had company over there
Oh,
every
there
day.
you go. Put Key's comment up. There
All
you
right.
go.
Mm-hmm.
I used to get, thank you. Thank you.
My
Thank
baby
you.
brother ready in the morning, take him to my grandma's house and walk to school. That's all.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. That's latchkey.
Okay. So you saying they need to have that in the Dominican Republic?
I'm saying that was the way it was. It
Mm-hmm.
was just a thank you. And Key's in her 30s. It still goes on for some people of poverty today because the parents can't pay for before and after care. If your economic conditions dictate that you can't afford that, this is what you have to do. I'm saying people in America live in a certain kind of way that we don't take into account or we don't believe exists because that's not our experience. I'm living great today.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking always wasn't, and I never forgot when I wasn't.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
Too often people forget. I don't ever forget. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm saying is that if you know.
So it's a lot of people know Free Weeks 81. How old are you? Make
Thank
you
you. Oh, Art Stewart. That's money. Make you 2 sandwiches, start changing. Thank you. That's latchkey kid knowledge.
and hang those clothes up and
Look. And when I come in that motherfucker, if you ain't done your homework, I'm gonna bust your ass. Plain and simple. That's latchkey kid knowledge. And I'm talking about American kids. You motherfuckers today, they don't understand it. Kids today, like, what are you talking about? I'm like, bruh, that was normal.
41, so I'm 46. So hey, there it is right there. Yeah.
That was normal. Like me and all my friends, we were all latchkey kids.
But did people make fun of you if they found out you was a latchkey kid?
No, because everybody was.
Oh, okay. All right, gotcha.
Everybody parents was fucking working.
That's not like a bad thing or nothing.
I lived in poor neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody had no mamas at home. The fuck is you talking about? I lived in a neighborhood that was full of single mothers. They were all poor and they were all working.
Mm-hmm.
So we all came home alone.
No
Nintendo in our house, and that was that.
Well, you know what? Going back to the safety part.
Mm-hmm. But that was part of the. See, that was part of that. Also feeds into the safety because
right
at that time, unfortunately, we had to grow up faster because there was the fear of things like. Because again, basically, open the door, go in, lock my door, and literally, it was like we would have burnt up in the house because my mama said, "I don't give a fuck who knocks on my door. Don't you open my door till I come." So Jesus could be at the door. Jesus, I love you, but we can't. My mama said you can't let you in. That was that sort of fear that was instilled because as a parent dealing with that, they didn't want you open the door because you know they nowadays they do the stranger danger shit. But we had guys and people back then that was sitting there trying to do stuff to kids.
Oh yeah, hold that thought. Listen, Miss Dakota says, "Brother Rico, please start a channel. Just do live." That is so. Rico is taking over Prime Time for the Truth. Subscribe to Prime Time for the Truth. That was my channel that I started because with the Deion Sanders situation. But now we're evolving and we're gonna do live. It's gonna be uncut, uncensored. We're gonna talk about Brett Favre. We're gonna talk about the Deion Sanders situation. We're gonna talk about racism. We're gonna talk about transgender.
We're gonna talk about latchkey kids.
We're gonna talk about latchkey kids, whatever. Yeah. So that's pretty much Rico's channel. It's called Prime Time for the Truth. So make sure you subscribe to it. And the live, we have our first live on what,
February? I think you said February or January. There he go with that damn San Cristobal internet. He gonna come back. But yeah, Art, you're right. Yeah, old school Jamaican. Yeah, Quan. That's funny as hell, Quan, because they can't be trusted alone. It's crazy, but that was what the whole dynamic for me growing up around latchkey kids. A lot of my friends were that way, but again, we didn't have video games, we didn't have internet, we just had, you could come in the house. You had to even be careful about, like I said, you better not touch that TV till your homework was done, or you get your back kicked out. So I'm not bullshitting because it was like, I ain't coming in here helping you with no fucking homework. So you had basically, and it's like school would let out at 3, mama get off at 5, she be in here by 6 or 7. And you know what's so funny about it, John? And Art, tell me if I'm lying, Art, because you said you're Jamaican, and I know you won't agree with it. Not only did you have to be, because they knew you got your black ass out of school at 3. So not only did you have to be in the house, you had to be in the house with the door locked. Your homework better be done, and the motherfucking house better be clean, and your chores better be done. So when mama came home from work, she ain't coming home to no dirty house.
Right. And if it's dirty, it's gonna be some trouble, huh?
I come home to a dirty house. Wait a minute. You got out at 3. I've been working. My mama might have been like, I've been cleaning these white folk houses or working at the damn hotel or whatever all day. My feet hurt. I'm tired. I come home and all the hell you've been doing is sitting here watching cartoons. I'm gonna kill your ass. Seriously. So it's like, I knew, hey, 3 o'clock, I come in, I gotta do all my homework. And then if she said wash the dishes or mop the floor or whatever, it better be done before mama come home.
Right.
Or she coming home with the thunder.
Mm-hmm.
That's what so latchkey kids we were little adults.
Mm-hmm. That's
because
right.
you just didn't have the luxury that kids got today. Because it's just like, I'm not coming home to this shit.
Right.
I'm not. So thank you, Art. There you go. Facts.
I was lucky that I was normally book smart because I had no homework help. That's good.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, I was lucky enough to have a Nintendo and a Atari. You had an Atari, huh, Rico?
I didn't have shit. I was pre all video games. We were pre when Atari came out. I was in high school about to graduate. Yeah, we had no video.
Well, wait. It says Brother Rico is an executive producer of your documentary.
I'm the executive shit talker. I'm the executive shit talker.
The YouTube channel is growing so fast. Prime time for the truth. To the point where we decided, me, Nicole, and Rico, I won't be on it all the time, but they will, and they're going to talk about the Brett Favre situation, anything you name, transgender. We're going to have people. We're going to invite people on, and we're going to talk about it all. And if you Rico, if you get butt home, if you real sensitive, you don't need to be on that channel, right?
Oh no.
So we keep it PG-13 here. So Rico's gonna be on twice a week, prime time for the truth, and it's no holding him back, nothing.
And I promise to be more professional, more down to earth. But if you butt hurt, ain't the place to be.
Right.
But be honest with you, and on the prime time for the truth, because it is specifically a channel about the truth. We're going to be open to conversations about everything. I'm open to suggestions about things we need to discuss and we should talk about. It's not my truth. It's our truth. It's everybody's truth.
We come to the conclusion of that truth,
yeah,
right?
I'm not no guru of anything. These are conversations, and sometimes the answer is we don't have the fucking answer.
Right.
Sometimes that's the truth.
I like that. Yep.
Sometimes, like, shit, we don't have the answer, but we're going to be open about it. We're not trying to do anything to trigger anybody. We're not doing anything to try to upset anybody. But like you said, we're going to start with John's story, Coach's story.
Right.
Everybody knows Coach's story. We're going to go over it in detail. We're going to show the depositions, how you guys got to know Coach. Coach didn't come to us. He didn't fall out the damn sky. There was a story and a vision and a
and what happened before I was assaulted. Before I was assaulted, right?
Yeah, and the assault and everything. It's like, be honest with you. At the end of the day, if Coach hadn't got assaulted, hell, we probably wouldn't even know him. He probably wouldn't be in the deal. He'd probably be still in West Dallas,
right,
doing baseball.
Right.
So you see how some
kids out, right,
and create things. His injury and his assault brought him to us. I probably wouldn't know this man if that. I wish it hadn't happened that way because I know that the pain that he deals with every day. He probably like, man, fuck all of y'all. I don't want to feel this pain.
Right.
I don't get that. But through his tragedy, the blessing is we all got a chance to meet and know him.
Right.
And all we're trying to do is to say, you know what? We're going to make the most of. We're going to take his pain and make the most out of it
I appreciate it, brother. I
I'm
appreciate
not trying to do it, but I'm saying that, he wants an opportunity to tell his story, and I'm gonna work as hard as I can to help him tell his story.
Right. Yeah.
That's
I
it.
yeah, I was Deion Sanders put me on TMZ and pretended like I assaulted his son. And so I had to get out of all that. And on top of that, I have major nerve damage for the rest of my life. So like you said, Brother Rico, I want to tell my story and let people know, like, hey, this is my side, and you had no business putting me on TMZ. But so that's what we're gonna start off with that. We're not going to talk about the Deion Sanders story and the lawsuit all the time.
Forever, but yeah.
We're gonna bring it up every now and then, but a lot of things we're going to talk about is facts, and the truth, and getting the truth
And
out, right?
we're gonna talk about Shiloh, little janky ass. He making, but because my thing is this: if he can make bread, because actually I'm subscribed to him. He got his own YouTube channel.
I do see it, but I'm not subscribed to it.
I'm subscribed to it. So
Okay.
I'm like, well, goddamn, if he can make bread off of it, then why can't we?
That's right.
Every time he make, I'm gonna say something, and we're gonna link his ass to it. So like, okay, keep blowing up, and we're gonna keep saying what we're gonna do so we can eat off your ass too.
And I can't wait to get those people
that's motherfucker.
That's right. I can't wait
to.
Hey,
us, motherfucker, you little nickel. You did it.
That's right. He did it, and his daddy tried to cover it up, and it did not work. So, I just want you to put yourself in my shoes. If you get assaulted, and then somebody try to cover it up and steal the videos and all of that stuff, then we're gonna talk about all of that. So, I'm excited about it. Rico, go ahead.
And just speaking of a place of at the end of the day, I'll say this. Again, like I said, I went back to the conversation about don't sit there. People in places of privilege. Deion speaks from a place of privilege. Brett Favre, place of privilege, and I would say even us. When we talk about us as Americans, Canadians, wherever you may exist in the world, to people of a country of a lesser means, let's respect our privilege and let's respect, the people that we're talking about. Again, I told John this a million times, and I'll say it a million times more. If I hear one more person say, "Oh, look at them, they over there, taking a bath in a river that somebody shitted in upstream. They so happy." No, they're not happy about that. Right. They're just not complaining about it. Stop saying that. That's disrespectful to say that that's what they want. Mm-hmm. They're making the best of their circumstance. The same way I say with latchkey kids. When my mama went to work, she wished she could afford to pay to put an IRS in before care and after care. It didn't exist. And if it did exist, she didn't have the money for it.
They're making the best out of it. That's right.
Exactly. So
and you can even put that on me. I'm making the best out of my situation.
Exactly.
I had 3 jobs. I was doing good. I had just received the NAACP Humanitarian Award. I had just received the Martin Luther King Award, and I started my nonprofit organization. And then Deion Sanders' son assaults me, and then I pretty much lose everything, and I have to get started all over again. So
was you happy when that shit happened?
I wasn't happy at all.
Exactly. You just accepted.
And then you get, when I try to tell my story, people say, "Oh, stop hating on Deion. Stop hating on Shiloh. Stop hating on Deion. Stop hating on Deion." I'm not hating on Deion. I'm telling the facts. And so, and we're going to talk about that. Put yourself in my shoes. If somebody slanders your name, get all your kids taken from you, foster kids taken from you, and CPS finds you guilty of child abuse, of course you're going to tell your story. It took almost 2 months for me to get exonerated for them pretending like I assaulted Shiloh Sanders. Thank God I won my lawsuit. All that's over with. Now I can talk about it. I can talk about all of that stuff. But it's amazing how people say, "Oh, you need to stop talking about this." No, Deion Sanders had someone to steal the video surveillance. He did. I don't care if it was Deion Sanders, Brett Favre, or the David Duke. It could be the founder of the Ku Klux Klan. It could be you, Rico. I'm gonna stand up just like anybody else. It could be, but tell me if I'm wrong. If somebody slanders your name, are you just gonna take it, or you gonna defend yourself?
I'm gonna defend myself. Here's the thing is
And
there ain't enough money in the
has a
world.
huge platform, so he tried to use that platform and tell TMZ and lied to TMZ. You know, that's just pure evil to me to do something like that.
I mean, I'm gonna defend my name, and I think you have. I mean, I'm not gonna be crazy about it, but yes, I'm going to defend my name. I'm going to push back, and I'm be honest with you, John. If anything, of all the things in the world, where what makes you my fucking hero is you didn't bend the knee for the coin.
Right.
You know how many black people would have went to Dion? Oh, give me $1,000. I won't say no more, and I sign an NDA. And do you know how many people would have done that?
Right.
And I ain't even gonna say that was ever even offered to you. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But I'd sit there. I'll be honest with you. I'm like, damn. I look at John. I'm like, either that nigga is that bad, or he just that stupid like me. We're literally. But what I'm saying is, I would rather never give a dime than give up my integrity.
Right.
My integrity is not for sale.
Yes.
And I'm to the point where I'm the type of Negro where people are like, you better take that money. Nope. I will never see a dime. I will die in poverty. You can't buy my integrity.
Oh my goodness. I wish I can exchange
And
once I get this money.
That's the kinship that I have with you. It's like he's just as fucking stupid as I am. We will walk away from $10 billion.
Right.
Because we can't let it go.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with us? I can't sleep if you shit on me for money and I take it.
And I would exchange $11 million in a heartbeat for
an apology.
Apology and this pain and the pain that I'll go through and
for him to come and say, you know, John, brother, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Take the pain away, take away what. It's like, yes, because it doesn't matter. Fuck the money.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people can't understand. I'm like, that's integrity.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have the money, but not if. Like, remember I told you this. What was it? What was the knowledge I had said? I said, I tell everybody, I don't want to be a millionaire. And they said, why you don't want to be a millionaire, Rico? I'm like, because I don't want to work for it. If you give me $1 million, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have to work for it, I don't want it because I don't want to.
My room's on fire.
Then you go put it out. I'm on a video. I'll be back.
So that was Rico's wife. So that's why I started that channel, guys. Prime Time for the Truth. I wanted to separate the what happened with the Deion Sanders and Shiloh situation, you know, with the Dominican route, because here, this channel, I really wanted to just talk about the Dominican Republic. So just to let y'all know, Rico will be taking over Prime Time for the Truth. And just to kind of touch on that, you guys, if y'all don't know, I was assaulted and I had to have major surgery by Deion Sanders' son, and he tried to cover it up and hide it. But you know, I just thank God that I'm not paralyzed, and at the same time, hey, I wouldn't have started a YouTube channel, you know. And I want to tell my story, and the documentary is going to definitely tell my story also. So I really hope you guys subscribe to Prime Time for the Truth, because Rico, if y'all like Rico on this channel, wait until he's on Prime Time for the Truth. And I looked up to Deion Sanders. I was always called Deion Sanders Jr. The reason I was called that because I ran the same speed as Deion Sanders. I was drafted on my speed. I ran a 4.2 flat 40-yard dash, and I ran a 6.2 60 yard dash. So I was I always looked up to Dion. I used to put my pants leg up like Dion, and used to put my have 2 or 3 gloves hanging out my pocket like Deion Sanders. So Dion was a role model to me. And then once I got to the Yankees organization, Gary Sheffield introduced me to him, and we became friends. And I helped him out with a whole bunch of things. And for somebody to call your, you say that's your friend, to shit on you and pretend like you assaulted their child, and put you on TMZ and put all these lies out on TMZ. It 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 uh, it it really. I've never heard a child. Never. I fostered over 300 children, probably more than that, and I just adopted a child, and it really made me feel bad to say somebody. And on top of that, it wasn't just a regular person. It was Deion Sanders that lied on me. So I had to tell my side of the story, and that's what this documentary, and that's what me and Brother Rico are gonna talk about on this Prime Time for the Truth.
Yeah, we're gonna tell a story. Again, we're not going to we ain't gonna demonize Dion, but we're not gonna save his ass either. No. I mean, all bullshit aside, I don't know what Dion's age is. I don't think he's too much older than me. Yeah. I don't even think he's older than me. He might be about the same age as me.
Yeah, I think Dion's
older
than
me. A little younger than me.
I'm 46. I think Dion's about 50, 52, 53.
Oh, well, that nigga younger than me. So I mean, I've always admired him as an athlete, but I look at all men as men.
Right.
A man is a man is a man is a man.
Mm-hmm.
I think Deion Sanders is a great athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Full stop. Mm-hmm. That don't make him a better person than anyone else. So again, we all have our heroes, and we look up to our heroes whether they earn it or deserve it or not. Oh, 55. Okay, well, I'm 58, so
okay. Oh, he's 55.
But I don't think I can son him either.
Right.
It's just the fact of he's a man that's like any other man, positive, negative, flawed, unflawed. At the end of the day, what I look at in this situation this was an unfortunate situation.
Well, no, but let me say this. Hold that thought, Rico. If you ask me, because Deion Sanders asked me, he said, John, can you please go get the phone from my son Shiloh, because I don't want him talking to his mom. He begged me to do it. I went to go do it, and his son assaulted me. So I wasn't trying to be top flight security of the world. I was just trying to help him out. He wasn't supposed to be on the phone. I tried to get the phone, and then he switched it on me and said, "Oh, John assaulted my son and blah, 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 and all that stuff." And he put me on TMZ. And then, that's when everything went to shit. Yeah, it was bad. I was learning how to walk again. And then I see my name in TMZ saying that I assaulted somebody. And then I was found guilty of child abuse. And so I had to get all that shit reversed. And CPS found out that all that shit was a lie. And then they reversed everything. So that really hurt me physically and mentally.
Well, I think for me it comes down to and again, John, I know how close it is to you, and I understand how you feel, and I don't have that same proximity to the pain, because, like I said, you're right now every day. Drop the link for Nicole. You're dealing with the pain. I get that. And I don't have that proximity to the pain. I don't have the proximity that Dion had, about his son. What I look at is right and wrong. At the end of the fucking day, what his son did was wrong.
Right.
That was litigated in the court of law. That was adjudicated. And there was a determination made that him and his son was responsible for your injury.
Right.
What was that, 2015, 2016?
Yeah, it's been going on for so long, but the case just ended about how long did the case, when did it end, Nicole? When did the case
ended in May of 2022.
Okay, but I'm saying when was the case started?
Oh, 25th. I was assaulted on September
When did the
17th.
lawsuit? When did the lawsuit begin?
Don't
A
get me
year
wrong.
after the assault,
A
because
year.
it was almost up. So what happened is workman's comp had to pay for John and his surgeries because it happened on the job.
Mm-hmm.
So workman's comp started suing Dion, Shiloh, and Pilar in order to recoup the money that they had to pay out.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that happened, TMZ spoke about it, and then Dion started speaking negatively about John, and John wasn't even the one who was doing it.
I didn't even. Yeah, Nicole couldn't have said it any better. I wasn't even suing Dion Sanders. Workman's comp was the one that was suing.
But we don't even care about what I'm looking at is the legality of it, in the standpoint of the injury was caused by his son in 2015. Correct? Because the incident occurred in 2015. That's when the injury was caused.
That's right.
And here's the thing that gets me is like I watch him. Thank God, God bless him. He's in Colorado. He's in a PWI school, just that whatever. And I watched his video, and he said something about I want men of character. That was the word that stood out to me.
Yeah, he uses that all the time.
That was okay. So that's what stood out to me. Character. Because he was like, oh, I want guys that are fast, strong, smart. And in particular, that was the one word. So I'm like, so if you're looking for men of character, then I would have to believe you are a man of character.
Right.
Why do you want players of character if you're not of character? And part of character is honor and owning up to things, to include when you fucked up. Or in this case, I don't think Dion assaulted you, but his son did. Which at that time he was responsible for. Even if in fact he wanted to say, hey John, I didn't do it. Why is he throwing you under the bus? That doesn't show. So even if I had a son of character, why would I send him to your school if you at a moment of time when you were supposed to show your character, you didn't?
Right, yeah.
Stop asking for men of character if you are not showing yourself to be a man of character.
Right.
Because a man of character, you would own up to the situation that you had to deal with in 2015 rather than run from. Because if you're going to run from what you dealt with a difficult situation in 2015, then when these young boys say fuck you and they're going to run from you, what are you talking about character for? You don't have any character. What's your character that you have the right to look for or demand character in others?
That's, I think, a thing that comes with like money. When you get to that celebrity, and especially somebody who has been in celebrity for as long as he has, like what you said is something that, you know, one thing we make a point to make sure we never try to discredit Dion and the greatness that he has achieved in the sports community and helping like JSU and like Black HBCUs get
youth and kids, right?
Yeah, you know, but in this situation, when it comes to people like him who have massive amounts of money and mass popularity, is that their fans will see no wrong in them. You know what I'm saying? They have the ability to just hear what they want to hear, and whatever they say is just deemed as fact. That's why you have those people who like, oh, you're just hating on Dion. They don't know what's going on. They don't care what's going on. There's nothing that you could tell them that would be enough information for them to be wanting to reflect on it and be like, okay, that does make sense. If I was in your situation or if that happened to me, I would feel the same. And I think that's a part of where they find that what Rico was saying, that, you know, the ability where it's like I can demand people around me be great, but I don't have to be great because I can afford to do what I want.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, so I'm excited about just finally getting I feel good talking about it now. So imagine on January the 4th when we talk about it, and then the documentary will be right behind it. So I'm excited about that.
And one thing, John, I didn't like, you was over here talking about how you and Rico gonna be on the channel, like nothing about me at all. Like, oh, me and Rico, and I don't like that. You thought I wasn't watching because I wasn't on the live?
I didn't say that. I didn't say me and Rico. I said Nicole and Rico. We can rewind the tape.
I'm gonna rewind it.
I promise. All right, just say. I say I won't be on there that much, but Nicole and Rico will. Black Crypto, thank you so much for the donation, brother. God bless you. I appreciate it. Hey, Coach Rico, my crypto hit. We neighbors. What? I don't get it. You understand that, Nick?
He says his crypto hit. I guess he's in the cryptocurrency. Are you in the Dominican Republic?
I guess he's saying maybe when his crypto hits.
Oh, okay, probably so.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, we gonna all move next to Rico and bother the shit out of him all the time. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, that'll work, Black Crypto. Thank you so much for the donation, brother. I appreciate it. But going back to you, Nick, I said that Rico and you are gonna do a great job on the channel. That's what I said.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, Eric, you want to read that, Miss
Eric Bailey? Coach, how did you become friends with Deion Sanders? He always seemed like a shady person to me, even in his days with football. He seemed like he would backstab you in a minute.
Yeah, I became friends with him through Gary Sheffield. When you play baseball and you have a circle because there's only so many blacks in baseball. We kind of go to the same events and we go to the places together and we call each other. So I met him through Gary Sheffield, and Gary knew I was a great guy, humanitarian. Deion was a good humanitarian also. So we kind of linked up, and then I started doing free baseball clinics. And I want to say Deion came to the Steve Harvey event also. I had a contract with Steve Harvey. And so all these black humanitarians used to do things together. And they knew about me because I had received the NAACP Humanitarian Award and the Martin Luther King All-State Award. And we just started doing great things together. And, of course, a lot of that's going to be in the documentary, but just giving you guys little pieces and tidbit. So that's how I met Deion Sanders, through Gary Sheffield, and just talking. And he said, man, I need you to do my baseball camp for me. And I did his baseball camp for him, and I got it off the ground for him. But in a million years, I never would have thought that he would have had someone to take the video surveillance of his son assaulting me and put me on TMZ.
Money will do that. People to hold on to that money and that perception and stuff. And it's like, it was fine until he realized that you were hurt. Like he knew you was hurt, and he was like, oh yeah, my son out of control. I know John hurt. And then he was like, oh no, John is like hurt really? For real. Hurt for real. This is not a little bit of hurt. It's a whole lot of hurt. That's going to take a lot out of my pocket.
Yeah.
So I think that's what the problem was, is,
yeah.
People do what they got to do to stay at the top. Thank you. You're so pretty too.
Black Crypto. Hey, thank you for the donation again, brother. I appreciate it. Yes, Nicole is adorable. That's my cousin. She's beautiful. She is single. So if y'all, no, let me shut up.
Look at you. Speaking of single, you single. You see her picture? She's gorgeous.
Oh, she is gorgeous, but I think she likes Manuel.
Oh,
girl, yeah, that's what I think. So I'm gonna let them have at it. I don't know. I'm being messy. I don't know. How old was his son at the time? I think he was 15, 16 years old.
Yeah, I think he was 16.
So he hit.
Now?
We talking about Shiloh. We talking about Shiloh.
Oh, you talking about that little bad motherfucker, the little demon. That little devil.
He hit me with a hard round. He hit me right here. He hit me with his elbow, a hard roundhouse elbow to the neck, and that's what really damaged my neck. And Then I was rushed to the hospital and I had to have surgery.
I'd still be in prison if I was at that school. I swear to God, I've been to fuck some of the little motherfuckers up.
Listen, Rico, I look so forward to hearing you talk about the details, because I don't know if you know all of the details of what was going on, like even just at the school. I can't wait to hear you talk about certain, you know what I'm talking about? I can't wait to hear you talk about stuff.
I did tell him about when he snuck back on campus and beat up the dude.
That shit blew me away, Nicole. I was like, what? Did
he tell you about the lady and the teacher and the two teachers?
No,
was that the principal?
The principal. Oh, the hand.
He told me in particular, outside of the assault, was
we're gonna save that part. I want to see Rico talk about that part.
When he told me about that little motherfucker came back to the school, and I'm like, what? So just here, and here's the thing: is I always said to myself, like, I could never, work in a school, and like I've coached.
I'm with you.
But I can't because the things that these kids do with the schools, at the schools, how they conduct themselves, it's like, man, no, that's just not for me. I can't do it. I can't. I guess I could, but parents, see, I was a different type of parent, and I tell people too, I was the type of parent that like John and teachers loved. Mm-hmm. Because my oldest son, I'm gonna have him on a stream with me, on one of my early streams. He's actually worked for the DC government. He's finishing his master's degree, about to graduate in February with his master's degree. He's a troubled youth counselor.
Okay.
He deal with these little bad motherfuckers. And literally, I'm like, Antoine, I just couldn't. And that's his job. He is a youth critical counselor. Basically, these fucked up kids. And the crazy part about it is, I was like, I couldn't deal with it because my concept was like with him. I remember him, right? Antoine's got to be 30 something. I can't remember. I should know, but fuck it, I got too many of them. But here's the funny thing about it was I remember at one point he was at school and he was fighting all the time, right? He wouldn't like he might have been shallow, but I was in Dion. Right. He was fighting all the time. You piss Antoine off, he knocked a motherfucker in the mouth because he was very dark skinned.
Okay.
He was like Haitian dark skinned. Okay. And they would always tease him. They would always call him Blackie. Mm-hmm. And I would always tell him, I don't give a shit. Tell him the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. And I always taught my sons to fight back. Like, nah, we didn't do no running. Ain't gonna be no running. Somebody come to you, you fight.
Right.
And they would call him Blackie. He'd haul off and knock the taste out their mouth. I'm like, good. They make them stop talking about you. So at one point, the school would be like, oh, Mr. Young, we need to get your son tested. We think something wrong with him. I said, nah, ain't nothing wrong with him. I don't care what it is. I might have to go home and I may have to discipline them a little bit more, but you're not going to test them, because I knew what they were trying to do was they were trying to label them. So you're not going to label my son special ed. Yeah. No, we're not doing that. I might have to discipline his ass a little bit more, but we're not going to do that. Mm-hmm. And they went through all that and all these trials and tribulations. I would never let them do it. I'm like, no, he's going to stay in his classroom. He's going to stay with kids his age. I'll get on him about his anger, because he would have anger issues because people would really would pick on him. He's not my biological son, but he's my son, period. Full fucking stop. Yeah. Darker than my t-shirt. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what they say. You my son, and I kill a motherfucker for you and you kill him for me. And that's the end of the story. Right. And that's just the way we roll. But like now he's an adult. He's got his master's degree. He's finishing up his PhD, all this shit. And these were the same people that was telling me that something was wrong with my son and he wasn't smart enough. I'm like, you motherfuckers is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, we had discipline issues. I got discipline because I was raised for a period of time, Nicole, as a single father with 5 sons, 5 boys.
That's a lot.
I was like, oh my God, these motherfuckers gonna kill me. Because it was all testosterone in the house. I'm trying to be the alpha male. And from my oldest to my youngest, all boys. It just was a lot, you know, but I was adamant that I could do it. I was like, I don't know what I got myself into, but I gotta make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And I was adamant because for me, I grew up without a father. I
Right.
never had, you know, John, you had a father.
Right.
Nicole, I don't know if you did or didn't, so I don't want to presume.
I have one down. He's around now, but he wasn't.
But I didn't have
one.
My father was killed when I was a little boy, and I always remembered growing up through my entire life, I always wanted a father. So I played football in high school. I did different things, and I never got the affirmation or the support, even from my mother, because my mother was a single mother. My mother was a single mother with 5 kids, 4 different baby daddies. So she was out in the street, and you know, I love my mother. My dearly departed mother. I loved her to death, but she was a woman of her time, and we just didn't get that affirmation or that love or that control or anything. So I always overcompensated for it because it was what I always wanted.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And because I always wanted it, it was a difficult thing. So even when I was fucking up, I was just like, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. You know. So with this son, and like me and him, we're like this now. I tell a motherfucker in a minute. Somebody like, I'm a fuck. I'm like, if you do, then you better go into witness protection for the rest of your life because he's gonna hunt you down to the ends of the earth. Period. My sons love me that much. All but one question. But it's the fact of the matter of is that because I was always there for them. And I told them, like, you don't have to like me. You don't have to care about me. You could think I'm an asshole. I'm everything that you said. But I always tell my son, when you wake up, see this, you're going to see this. When you go to sleep, you're going to see this. This will never leave you. This will never, ever leave you.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. And my sons know I can't stand his ass, but he was always there. Right. And that's what I try to tell them. Be that way for your children. Make sure they always know that you are in their life and you are there. Because it was a huge hole for me.
Yeah.
That was a huge, you know it as it's daughter. And John, you don't know that because your father was always there. But when you haven't had a father in your life, wow.
That's deep.
And I sat there and I would go through hell with gasoline underwear to let my sons know, motherfucker, you might wish I wasn't there, but I was. You're never going to deny that.
Yeah. Right.
And I say that for young black men and even young black women. Even my daughter, I regret the fact that I didn't raise my daughter because she was in Georgia, but I always stayed in touch with her. Like, look, I love you.
Right.
Don't you ever believe your father wasn't there?
You know, just to touch on what y'all said, my mom and my dad, my father was in the stands, in the bleachers all the time. I would look up in the bleachers and I would see them sitting up there. And if they wasn't up there, they would have to work or had to work a double or something like that. But 90% of the time, my parents was in the stands. They were the first ones there and they was the last ones to leave. And then I would see the other kids and they wouldn't have their parents there. And now that I think about it, I say, wow, man, I was so blessed to have my parents there. And my mom, she's loud. She's loud just like you. So I can hear her voice from a mile away. Yeah. So, so you know how my
that
mom
love matters. And you know what?
That's a deep thing. We could have like a whole talk about that because it's like we all, and that would be interesting from the three of us with like completely different perspectives because my father was around, but I felt it was performative.
Right.
Like
do me a favor. Do me a favor. Yeah, there you go. Put Black Crypto up.
Okay.
And because we need to celebrate fathers who do shit like this.
Yeah.
That's right.
We need to celebrate that. Black people, you just have no idea the importance. I don't know if you got a son or a daughter, whatever.
I think he said a son.
Your presence in your child's life is immeasurable.
Right.
Brother, I salute you for what you do. I salute you. We don't have enough fathers who are willing to work that hard and to make those sacrifices. And I'm not saying that, put yourself in abject poverty. I'm just saying love your children the way you want to be loved.
Mm-hmm. And there's a big difference between sacrificing excess and like still having to work hard with your child. Like a lot of men will, if it's a little tough, if it's like, oh, like the mama is annoying me when I'm over there, so I'd rather not, or I have to pay more in child support and it's not fair. Like that guy that went viral, like, oh, don't talk to me no more since your mama wanted more money. Don't ask me for nothing. Don't call here. And so there's a huge leap. Like there's lots of options between those things, and lots of all right. And lots of women make do.
And here's the thing I'll sit there and say, and crypto, keep it on my brother crypto.
Yeah.
Keep it on him. Because you're right. The hell, but through the grace of God, you raised your son. And salute to you, sir. Salute to you. Because here's the thing. For all the riches in the world cannot make up for the loss of the relationship between a father and a son. Because you could have sat there and said, hey, I'm going to go for the money.
Right.
And then ignore the relationship with your child. And I can guarantee you, all the riches in the world would not fill your heart.
That's deep.
The way the love that you have of your son and your son has for you. Mm-hmm. That money don't mean shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I salute you, sir. I salute every time I see and that's all I'm begging of fathers, especially of black fathers. Love your children.
That's right.
Those are your riches. That's your gold. Because we all have an expiration date. We're going to leave this motherfucker. And that's all the money and everything else you make ain't going to matter. The love of your children and the love that they have for you is your gold and your treasures and your riches.
What does that mean?
What's that?
Inadvertently, you're encouraging bad behavior, but still being a proud father, knowing you did your job. What bad behavior is encouraged?
I don't know if he's talking to us or somebody else. Maybe he's talking in general. I don't know.
Right.
Art, can you explain a little bit more?
Yeah, I'd like to understand.
Look. A great example is this one right to the right of me right here. This one is like glued to me because she wants a father figure all the time, and her dad is always traveling and doing stuff, and I respect it or whatever, but they just want some type of guidance, and they appreciate it.
They want to be held in that embrace. She wants to be held, and you know what, John? For everything that you're doing for her, she still wants the love of her father. So at some point, John, you need to step back.
No.
Listen.
No. Hold that thought for real quick. Let me say this. You are wrong because I'm trying to teach her to do that because she gives her father an attitude.
Listen what I'm going to tell you.
And I get pissed off at her because because he's like, she think he don't have no money. He's lame. He this, he that, or whatever. And I'm like, no, you need to go and talk to your father. Don't walk away from him. Go over there and talk to him. And, so I'm trying to.
John, hear me out for a minute. I'm going to say this, right? Are you listening? John, This isn't a lesson for Valerie. You need to have a conversation with her father, not her. Look at me, brother.
Okay.
To shit on her. You need to go to her father. What's her father's name?
I call him Wes.
Just say Peter. Say Peter.
Andrea, yes.
Andres.
And he's a pastor. He's a preacher. He's a pastor.
Listen. You need to have a conversation with him.
Mm-hmm.
Mano y mano.
Right.
That's who the conversation needs to be had. And tell him, bruh, your daughter loves you. She wants to feel the embrace. So you need to educate her father. Her father needs an education too.
Right.
He needs to learn how to love his daughter the way she deserves to be loved.
But he's a hard worker, and
I don't care about him being a hard worker.
Okay.
He needs to love his daughter the way she wants that love, John.
But
you
I
have a daughter. What's your daughter?
I'm not taking up. But she gives him an attitude, and I don't like that.
I don't care about that. But
that
John,
attitude is a reflection of her feeling not cared about. Like she can't be anything. She can't reflect anything but what she feels in that moment. So I mean, and that's a thing I think a lot of men get caught up on, is thinking that financially providing is the way to show that you care, when it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter how hard he's working. He has 5 minutes of his day where he's on the toilet and he could call her or text her. You know, there's a moment in time where he's having lunch and he could reach out to her. And if those things aren't being done, then why should she?
If he doesn't act like, let me tell you, John, you got a daughter. Stop playing with me.
Right.
Stop playing with me.
I just talked to her.
So let me finish. She wants the same time, care, commitment, and love. She wants the same. John, you being dismissive. She wants the same time, care, and commitment. You are in another country, but you stay connected to your daughter.
Right.
Then don't give me that bullshit about he's a preacher. That's his daughter.
Right.
You shouldn't be connected more to his daughter than he is. She sees the difference. And the more that you're fathering her than her own father, it hurts her whether she tells you or not, John, because at the end of the day, you want the love of your own father. So I'm saying, go talk to Andres and say, look, man, your daughter loves you. Right. You gotta be there for her more. If I need to help you be a better father for her, then do that. Don't try to replace him. I know you're not trying.
Right.
But what you're doing is you are. And what she's going to do is she's going to throw in her father's face, you. And you don't want to do that. You want to tell her father, you got to step up, bro.
Let me say
your daughter loves you.
Oh, yeah, she does. So this is Valerie's auntie. This is Valerie's auntie. And say hello, Ola.
Hola.
So Valerie's mother is in Spain. I dated Valerie's mother, and I played professional baseball with Valerie's uncle. So that's how this is my family, and that's how I know them so well. So she's been living in Spain for your mama 3 years. 3 years now, and she's working in Spain. We're not together anymore, but for the last 3 years, Valerie's been in my life, and the whole family, they take care of me. This is my extended family. She goes to church almost every day. She's very religious, and she's looking for a boyfriend, a Christian boyfriend. She wanted me.
John, did you hear what you just said about Valerie?
Okay, yes, go ahead.
Did you hear what you just said about Valerie? Nicole, want to tell him what he said about Valerie?
What did I say about Valerie?
You didn't hear it even, Nicole?
I did. I was still mesmerized by the great pivot.
Okay, so pay attention.
I was lost in the spin, Rico.
Pay attention to what I heard.
Okay.
For 2 or 3 years, she ain't had a mother. No. For 2 or 3 years, she ain't had a mother or a father.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so fuck me. So fuck me. She ain't had a mother or a father for 2 or 3 years.
Right.
I was sad about not having a father. I had a mother. She ain't had neither. All I'm sitting there saying is, as much as you want to do for her and continue to do, if her father's there, you need to be putting foots in his ass to tell him he need to step up, because she needs John. She needs She needs them both. If she can't have them both, she needs one.
Right. I feel you.
You stop making excuses for both of their asses. You making an excuse for her mother and her father. Stop.
I'm not trying to make an excuse.
I know you're not trying, but stop. Tell the father, come on over. It's Sunday. Matter of fact, take her. We going over. We're gonna see your papa, and make her have a relationship with one of the two.
Right.
She needs it.
Yes. Valerie is a absent parent too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I agree, Crypto. Yeah, she misses them both.
Yes.
Tremendously.
Yeah, she's awesome. I just don't want to just get out of place and make myself feel like I'm doing something wrong. That's all.
But if you're trying to replace one of them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she really misses her mother. Black Crypto's right. She really does miss her mother.
Like crazy.
Yeah, and she doesn't know when she's coming back.
So when you talk to the cat, Andreas, you need to tell him, bruh, come on now.
2 siblings. She has one brother.
But John, don't explain. When you talk to Andreas, mano y mano, every 2 weeks, bruh, you need to come over here. Let's chop it up. So she can see you.
Right.
She needs to see you. She needs to connect.
Yeah.
Period. She just does. Because it hurts for me for her to be in the position that she's in. I'm hurting for her.
Art said, I'm 48 and I still miss my dad.
Yes. I'm fucking hurting. Nicole, right?
What is that?
Does it not hurt Nicole to have the
it does. It is. And I have two older brothers that I didn't grow up with. And it's like hurt all around. It feels like hurt from my brothers, and I know my brothers are all hurt in their own way. You know, my oldest brother is in his 40s too, and he's very unhealed. And it's like I don't even talk to him anymore because it's just like constantly him needing somebody to make him feel better. And it's like I didn't cause your pain, and you can't tell me I didn't go through anything because I went through something different. Like you can't. So it's just like a grown man with a man in his 50s with daddy issues, and it's rough. Like it's rough to watch.
Right. And I only say that because of the fact that you say you have a relationship with her father. So I'm saying, hey, look, on a Sunday, John, come Sunday.
Right. Look at Black Crypto. He agrees with daddy. He agrees with you.
Right. Go take her to see her daddy. Make him see her whether he wants to or not. Because over time, it will start to connect. She'll be like, why is it every Sunday we ain't got nothing else to do? We're gonna go over to his church and we're gonna sit in church with him. And when it's over, you're gonna talk to him and whatever. And you can a bond will be created, but as long as he's allowed to ignore it, because the mother's not there.
Right.
Nobody else is doing it. And if you're replacing it, then that's what she's going to do. But she's still hurting inside, John. That little girl is hurting inside because she misses her mother and she misses her father. And she feels like neither one of them loves her. She feels that shit.
Yes.
Tremendous. Now, if they were dead, I get it. They're dead. I can't raise them from the dead. But if I know the nigga right up the street, come on, we're gonna confront that so you can get some sort of closure.
Yeah, she's but the thing about her is she smacks her lips and she gives her dad an attitude, but she don't give me an attitude or nothing.
It doesn't matter. I don't care.
She doesn't hold her dad. Her dad has broken her heart.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
And she needs to heal from
her dad has broken her heart, and she's not going to heal that unless he works. Like he has to get his heart broken a few times by her before she feels comfortable to even open up to him, because that's what she's been through. So now there's a wall. And why would I let you through when you show me before and before and before that you're gonna let me down?
So when you sit there and say she disrespects her dad, she's making her dad feel the way he's made her feel. She's trying to tell him, this is how you made me feel.
Right.
So they gotta hash that shit out. You can't protect them from it.
Right.
Just keep.
And I mean, here's the thing too. I want this to be said because like a lot of things are being said at John, but there's only so much that you can even do, and you can try to encourage him, John, to be more active in her life, and you can try to help set things up, you know, which would be very nice for you to do to try to foster that. But if he's not open to it, and then
I agree.
That's just what it's going to be too, you know. So my advice to you would to, as much as you love children, to be cautious about what they lack and what you're providing and how long you foster those relationships. Like you keep your relationships with Jasmine and Darlene and like your relationship with her. I would encourage you to keep that too, but you also it's like a fine line, because at a certain point there's going to be too many kids for you to continuously like carry on your shoulders. You know what I'm saying? So there has to be a conscious thought of.
But it does bring me joy, and it brings me happiness. And
but John, how many times?
Really love, and you like kids also, Rico. I know you love.
But no. But John, how many times have I told you gotta watch that shit?
That's right.
No, because here's the thing,
though. His ass. So no, listen, Nicole.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because you're absolutely right. There's a limitation to what you can do, and you're right. I love kids, but there's a limit to what we can do. So again, what Nicole said. I mean, Nicole, you killed it. You killed it. It's like, okay, we can only go but so far. We can only do but so much. The only reason why I pushed John on the whole situation about Valerie's father, because he always talked about how him and her father have such a great relationship, like they're the besties. So I'm like, well, if you and her father is the besties, then make this motherfucker step up, right? Because he told me that shit. No, John, He came to me, oh, nah, man, me and her father, we great. We like the best of friends. I call him for permission. So I'm like, well, if you call him for permission and he give you, I didn't bring her to your house, Rico, until I checked with him. So I'm like, well, if y'all got that kind of relationship, then you can make this nigga father, right? Right?
Yeah, that's true. But
he can encourage it. But I agree to a degree.
No, but what he told me was, I couldn't bring her to your house until I checked with her father, and her father gave me permission.
But so he always give me permission. But out of courtesy,
that's the kind of relationship you got.
I don't think
you got a strong enough relationship to say, nigga, you can come and help me father your daughter.
But I don't think he wants that. I think he just he doesn't. I don't think he wants that type of relationship.
Well, here's my point. If you're not gonna help me father your child, then nigga, I don't need your permission.
But that's out of courtesy.
No, Nicole. Okay, am I crazy? I don't need you. Not gonna help me father your child, but I need your permission to take your child somewhere. That don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
That don't make sense to me. Because if I need your permission, then you're going to help me parent this child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes or no?
I can see the connection between that. I can see both sides, to be honest with you. I do get your point, Rico. I get why John would still want to check in with people who are available for him to check in with, especially taking young girls.
Even though you're not going to help me parent this child. You don't give a fuck about this child. So when I come to you and say, help me parent this child, I ain't got shit to do.
But I don't think that John's asked that. Have you, John?
That's
the thing. I don't think that's a conversation that's been had.
What's that?
That you have had a conversation with her father about if he wants to be a more active role in her life, or if he's. See, I don't even think they've got that far, Rico. That's why I'm saying. I agree. The conversation should definitely be. I agree. It would be a good conversation to be had, John, where that would be something where you could at least ask and see if you could foster in that way.
Yes. Because if I have to ask your permission, then I would think it's okay for me to come to you.
Look at Sharonda say, yeah, you still need permission.
Which is good. But if I need permission, then I should be able to come to you and say, hey, can you help me step up with helping me parent your child?
I agree that should be, yes, I agree that those conversations.
They gotta go hand in hand. You can't tell me I need your permission, but you don't. So in other words, you have authority, but you don't have responsibility.
Wow.
That's what it comes down to. People want authority of something, but they don't want responsibility. So I want the authority over the child, but I don't want the responsibility of the child.
I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people try to do. Listen, this is a conversation we could definitely have. It is a problem. I agree 1,000%, Rico.
That's the problem. You can't have the authority if you don't accept the responsibility.
Don't be agreeing with him 1,000%.
No.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. Did you hear the statement I agree with?
Yes. You cannot have the authority.
Don't give Rico all that
don't accept the responsibility. I give you all the authority in the world, but you must accept the responsibility. So,
John, I have to agree because I've argued this point with my child's father before, where it's like you don't have any say so in anything over here. You can't put your foot down because I have the responsibility.
There it is.
What do you have control over it? You can't put your foot down when you have no ground to stand on. You're floating.
You don't do shit. You don't going down on anything. You don't take care of shit. Shut the fuck up.
Right. Yeah. Listen, don't get me started on that because
facts.
Say, you know what? We're gonna have that on the topic of prime time for the truth.
We definitely will.
My back is killing me and my neck is hurting a little bit, so I gotta go lay down.
That's because you lying. See, that's them lies. That's them lies resting on your ass.
There it is. Variance is there. Don't get has a great we have a great relationship.
No, Valerie and her dad.
Coach John, Valerie and his dad.
No,
her dad.
Valerie and her dad.
Yeah.
Right. They have a marginal relationship.
Yes.
They know each other. We're gonna say that, John, right?
We're gonna
they know each other.
Y'all, so going back to the whole topic, yes, the Dominican Republic is safe. You just have to use your common sense. And we're going to wrap everything up. I'm going to let Valerie close it out. But you guys have anything in conclusion, Rico? Rico, don't be laughing at me because, I see y'all both picking on me. So, look, I'm closing it out.
No, he's leaving because he don't want to, because Rico done ran him off.
I'm putting that heat on his ass, right?
Rico, any final statements? Digress.
No, I'll just say this. Great conversation, great topic. I don't know how we got away from safety.
My point is going to be at the end of the lives, the topic is never the same at the beginning. We need to just make it a carryover, and whatever we finish the live with is what we just start the next live with and see where that one goes and just let it just flow from week to week. Yeah, it's always to be continued.
Yes. At the end of the day, this we started with safety, which is paramount. The DR is safe as a whole. There are certain places you got to be careful about. But of course, always we ended up about the kids because myself, John, and Nicole were all very passionate about children. We're all parents. All three of us are parents. Valerie, Jason, Brooklyn, my tribe of 30 or however many damn kids and grandkids I got. I can't keep count. We all love kids. We love. Oh God, gosh, thank God. Latchkey kids rule. Fuck what y'all say.
Yeah,
Latchkey kids rule. Okay, and if you don't know about Latchkey
Rico,
kids,
she has something to ask you real quick, Valerie.
Que cuando volvemos para Punta Cana.
In English.
No.
Yo no sé hablar en inglés.
No, she gonna say it in Spanish. You gotta pick it up because I picked it up. Go ahead. Repeat it.
Que cuando vamos para Punta Cana de nuevo.
Slower. K is what?
Que cuando volveremos para Punta Cana.
Oh, when am I coming back?
Yes, because she ready to go jump in the pool and
see, right?
Yeah. Just to tell everybody, some people say, "Oh, Rico don't like Dominican people." He had those two Dominicans because you got a couple of them about stop hating that you just don't like Dominicans. I know you
love them.
I know.
Believe it or not, Vienna's Vienna's is return. So Vienna's due not February. How do you say March? Marzo. Vienna. Or Vienna's or Febrero. Or Marzo. Febrero or Marzo.
Marzo.
Yes.
See.
Now, she ain't gonna forget that, and she gonna remind you too.
I know.
All right, go ahead, Nick. You got. I'm sorry.
With mi esposa. Okay. She didn't meet mi esposa.
Yes. Those. Yes. Yes. Go ahead, Rico. You have anything else to say before we close it out?
No. I'm co-signing with Sister Sharonda. Leave that comment up.
I'm so tired.
Leave that comment up. Thank you, Sister Sharonda.
Now, three y'all triple teaming me. Now we gotta go.
Close your mouth. Let this comment soak in, because this is exactly what I was trying to say. Is again, through you are her second father.
Right.
But make her love and respect. Make them have her. Don't make them have a relationship, but facilitate a relationship. Don't let her ignore it because she's suffering pain. Because she does. She's suffering pain.
Yes.
Do she feel like her father? Thank you, Kia. She feels like her father is neglecting her or ignoring her, and then her mother's absence, and that hurts. I can only imagine what a 13-year-old child would feel like with the absence of both parents. So if you have a relationship with her father, facilitate it so that at least they communicate, John.
Eso mismo.
John, facilitate their communication.
He says eso mismo. Es mismo.
No, eso mismo.
Eso mismo.
Exacto.
Yeah, I will, brother. I got you. Thank you, brother. All right, Nicole, go ahead and your final thoughts.
You're on mute, Nicole.
I knew that the dog was barking.
I know you said, "Oh shit."
No, I think
Louisiana
it was a good topic. I think we covered a lot of good stuff. I'm learning a lot through you guys, and I just look forward, to going forward and having a bunch of these in the future.
Yes, I do too.
And becoming millionaires by doing little to nothing, Rico.
Okay, you know what? You get you and Brooklyn Passport together.
That's right. Y'all do that.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, because we gonna do this soon together in the same room like me and John did. Okay.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna let Valerie close it out. All right, ready? Don't forget to like and subscribe.
What's he doing?
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Dominican route. Don't forget.
Don't forget to subscribe and like.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Okay. Don't subscribe to.
No, don't forget.
Don't forget
to subscribe.
Subscribe
and like the channel. All right, y'all. Rico, y'all take care. God bless y'all, man. Y'all take care, okay?
That's the perfect face for his screen to freeze on, like the disapproving.
Is it frozen? Okay.
Yeah.
He's ugly no matter what. Nick, I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Thank y'all so much. Bye, guys. Bye-bye. Adios. Hasta la vista, baby.
There you go, Rico.
All right, Rick. You take care, brother. Thanks for everything. All right.
Always, sir.
All right. Yeah, bye-bye.
Good night.